Yeah.
Okay. There's got to be a button I hit. Maybe it's this. Who knows? I'll refresh. Ha! Ha! Hot steaming deal. Look at that.
When's he go back to Jacksonville?
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. What's the poll question?
What the hell do we do with our lives right now?
When does he go back to Jacksonville? Oh, Lee, that's funny. Uh-oh. Can't be having that.
It's been a while since we had to do that.
Ambien, did you get the tweet? I just want to make sure you got the tweet this morning. That's all I care. I sent the tweet out specifically for you.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you. Hope your week is going well. We've gotten over the hump together. We can get to the finish line together as well. How the heck are you? Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. The two of us within arm length of one another. Normally we're 350 miles apart, but I'm in Southwest Florida. I got a little medical exams I got to go through every 6 months. Got to make sure that the cancer is not returned. So it's going to be a pleasant day, too. I got to drink two big bottles of the barium. Yikes. Not good.
You like your liquids.
I know I do. I know
and you
I do.
like them in big containers.
I do, and it's a big top, too. Like, you know me, I like the largemouth bass tops.
If I were just to go to 7-Eleven and get a super big gulp empty and pour it into it, would you enjoy it more?
Totally. It'd be all in. Don't even know if I'd use a straw. Okay, but with what they put in it, yikes. And not only that, you have a time limit. You have to drink it within a certain period of time.
Something else you're very good at. You've eaten all your meals and drank all your liquids in commercial breaks, so that shouldn't be a problem for you.
That's when I like what I'm consuming, though. All right, when you don't like what it is that you're consuming, you delay, you stall. And I don't know if I can consume it in time. That's all. Here's the thing. I have done this before where I took like half of the second bottle and I just kind of poured it in the grass. All right. I just said, that's not happening. What are they going to do? Is this really going to affect the results? I mean, like this doesn't determine if I have cancer. Okay. It may, affect whether or not, the scan is 100% clear or not. But, I mean, come on. I mean, it doesn't, determine.
Drink the damn liquid.
Hey, it's not tasty.
Just imagine it's Diet Coke. Imagine it's when you made that first switch from Coke to Diet Coke. It didn't taste good.
No, for like a year and a half.
Just imagine it's that switch. In fact, you should probably go out and have, and I know you're not supposed to drink dark sodas, but maybe have a Sprite. Have something sugary right before it and then just pound that sucker.
How about this? Okay, also, I think it's how they bill it. Okay, it's barium.
Well, to me, it sounds like it's fruity.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
very berry.
Barium?
In fact, if they call it very barium, it would be even tastier.
Barium.
Get Drew Barrymore out there.
Very berry.
Very berry barium. Okay. That's how I'll sell it. So I've got like another hour or so, and then I have to fast. So, and that's the other thing. I'm going to be really pleasant too. You know how I am. Okay. When I have to fast. And then I have to drink 2 big bottles of barium in about an hour and 45 minutes. Then I got to go, lay in a tube and hope that I don't light up.
Laying in the tube's the hardest part for me.
I go to sleep.
Good for you.
Yeah, I go to sleep.
That's the only way to do it. If not, you're very confined.
Yeah, I just close my eyes. It just,
Well, how long are you in the tube for?
a half hour,
Half hour, 40 minutes.
Well, yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, they got to.
Yeah, there's no choice but to go to sleep in that situation.
With all due respect, if I got to drink the 2 big bottles of barium, let this test go a little while. I don't want it to be 12 minutes. Come on now. No. Check everything.
Give me my money's worth.
Yeah, I mean, no offense. It's like, the steak. I mean, don't just cook it on one side. Flip it over. No. Let's go.
Might as well.
So, listen, I don't want to say we've gotten used to working apart, but I got here at like 5:30. Mark got here at close to 20 to 6. So we had spent 19 minutes within arm's length of each other. And 1 minute before the show, Mark goes, when the hell are you going back to Jacksonville?
The questions. Felipe and I have a routine in the morning.
I know, I'm interrupting it.
There's a lovely lady that's a door down. I say good morning to her when I come in, and maybe a little kibitz if it's a Monday. See how the weekend was. She was just on vacation. So I check in. I come in here. I say hi to Felipe, and there's no talking. There's no communication. And
not only that, there's only one camera for you. You don't need a second camera for me. Plus, I'm computer illiterate, and I have to now log on to the computer that normally doesn't get used.
And you have to ask questions about how to use it.
Yes.
And I'm not prepared to answer those questions in the morning.
Mark, what do I do? He just looks at me like, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you. You're not my child. I don't answer these questions for anyone other than my wife and my child. Okay? I don't care.
We have Maddie in studio 3 days a week. She doesn't cause this much commotion.
That's true.
She has far fewer questions. The only question she asks every once in a while is, where's the bathroom? Now she knows where that is. She does that on her own too. So welcome back, David. Really happy to have you in the 239.
I know. I can feel the warmth. I did get a fist bump from Felipe. All right. I did. So he's faking it anyway. I mean, I'm sure he's thinking the same thing, like, oh man, today and tomorrow.
It's not faking it. I just fist bump everyone.
Just
So maybe you're not that special.
Just wait. Can we get to 10 o'clock on Friday? For goodness sakes. So Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, 44, 49, and 56. That means 6 weeks and 2 days from week 0. 7 weeks tonight. The Gators, the Knights, in action as week 1 of the college football season kicks off, beginning with the Thursday heading into Labor Day weekend. And 8 weeks tonight, Lions and Chiefs. There you go, 44, 49, 56. Next week, training camps. NFL training camps next week. I mean, nobody good. I mean, it's all the rookies. It's most of the guys who are going to get cut, but that's okay.
But we have something to pay attention to in training camp, and that, of course, is the injuries.
Yes, that's what counts. Although I am intrigued by the fact that, we've got some named players who are still unsigned. That's interesting. Are they actually going to wait until August? They're going to wait to see if somebody gets hurt? Or are they going to just wait to see until one team realizes, we're not quite as good at this position as I thought? And then, hey, Saquon Barkley's playing the game. Good for Saquon. Playing the game. The Giants made sure that they got out there what the negotiations were. That honked them off. So now Saquon's going, I ain't signing the tag, and I ain't showing up week 1, by the way. We don't have a long-term deal worked out by next Tuesday. Trust me, I ain't going to be there when you play the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Got it?
Boy, oh boy. I'm curious how, this is all calculated, and I think he'll play week 1 for the record. But can I just ask you, as the Giants fan, after some bad years, and last year, way over their skis.
Totally.
You and I both know they're not as good as their record.
No.
But there are at least some expectations. You, even as the pessimistic Giants fan that you are, can look at it and go, I think they're going in the right direction.
Yes. And they will be disappointed if they don't return to the playoffs.
You honked off right now as the fan? Is the fan and you honked off at all?
No, but Do you know what I am thinking about, though, if I'm the Giants, and I doubt they are, because I think the GM is taking his cues from the ownership, and the ownership really wants Saquon. But if I'm the Giants, I'm seriously thinking about Dalvin Cook.
Cutting him and picking up Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, because all they did was they extended the tag. They can rescind it today. They can rescind it unless he signs it. I mean, once he signs it, they're on the hook. $10.1 million fully guaranteed. But, I mean, the indications are Dalvin Cook's not getting offered $10 million from anybody. I mean, there's no word that Dalvin Cook's getting offered $10 million a year. And we haven't heard that anybody's offered him more than a 2-year deal. I mean, if you're the Giants right now, is Dalvin Cook as good as Saquon Barkley? No, he is not. No, he is not. But the best case scenario for Saquon is 10 years, $10 million this year, $12 million next. You tag him again, it's a 20% raise. Now, that's if he shows up and plays both years at 10 and 12. So that's $22 million. How about this? You offer Dalvin Cook 3 for $27, and you fully guarantee almost all of it.
You'd get him at that number.
And then you just say goodbye to Saquon. There's no doubt Saquon's a better player, but Saquon has reportedly turned down $14 a year, which would have made him the third highest paid back in football. McCaffrey and Kamara ahead of him. I mean, he's making more than Derrick Henry. I mean, I look right at Saquon and go, listen, you're more versatile. He's been better because up until last year, he's been on the field every week. You've been on the field 2 out of 5 years. Okay? I mean, and we offered you more money than Derrick Henry. So don't look at me and tell me that, we're coming up short here. We're offering you $14 million a year. Trust me, you can't get it on the open market.
If you could, Cook would have already signed for whatever it is, and he's not at your level.
Right.
But if there were a market for running backs that was in the $10 million range, Cook would have a contract right now, and he doesn't.
Never mind the fact that it's mid-July and how many people have cap room. And the couple teams that do have cap room don't need a running back, no matter how good you are. So, I mean, is that crazy thought?
No, not at all.
That if I'm the Giants, I just go, you know what? I didn't want to do this. I wanted Saquon to, I wanted him to go to the Hall of Fame, and I wanted him to be a Giant his whole career. But we offered him $14 million a year for 4 years. We were willing to guarantee damn near 3 full years of it. He said no. So we're going to take Dalvin Cook at $9 million a year.
He said no, and you thought he said no, and it was adamant that he wasn't going to sign the tag. I mean,
right?
You all know where he sits in regards to the tag. So you, as a franchise, would I think look just fine to your fan base. They might be ticked off that they lost Saquon, but if you replace him, fan bases get over that pretty quickly.
And the good thing is you would replace him with a 3-down back. No, he's not as good. He's not. Saquon's healthy. Saquon's a top 3 back probably in the league, certainly top 5. Dalvin Cook's probably top 10, top 8. But that's not bad. And I'm doing it at what? 70 cents on the dollar? Cook's as healthy as he's been in 3 years. The shoulder's fully repaired. The whole deal is ready to go. He's 27. Saquon's 26. I mean, that's if I'm the Giants, because I was willing to, listen, you could sit out. I don't care. Stay home till September 1st. I don't care. Our game's on September 10th. I don't care. We know you're in shape. You know the plays. I got no problem with you staying away. You're saying you ain't showing up for week 1? Oh, okay. That's it. You know what? Call Dalvin Cook's agent. I ain't playing this game.
Miller and Moulton. What games we will play the rest of the show is yet to be determined, but we are back in the same room at least for a couple of days. And boy, oh boy, the excitement level is through the roof. Thanks for listening. Miller and Moulton right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
David Moulton for Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Al Davis trying to trade for
Yes, Elway.
Right. I guess Eubanks played a hell of a match.
He did. Hard to say choke, but he had the tie break that he lost, and then just fell apart in the fifth set. Just fell apart. I mean, got beat love in the first game, had 3 forehand errors and a double fault.
So apparently Alcaraz's father taped a Djokovic practice. That's apparently the big story, which needless to say is a no-no. And I think Alcaraz is trying to say something about, he's who we idolize or what have you, which is difficult to understand because he's from Spain. I would think it would be Nadal, but man. Oh,
Yeah. See if they show any of the first. Yeah, they're already at 3-0. This is long done by now.
Oh yeah, Eubanks blew it.
so apparently Medvedev had a quite the heated exchange with an umpire. God, I bet I missed that. Today is National French Fries Day.
I think that Krispy Kreme is also doing something today where it's like their anniversary of the year that they first came out. So I think it's like 86th anniversary. You can get
It's
a dozen
not
donuts.
National French Fries Day.
No?
It's National Beans and Franks Day. It's National Barbershop Music Appreciation Day, and it's National Delaware Day.
Now, Paul's claiming McDonald's and other chains are giving away free fries today. Got to get to the bottom of this, Mark. It's our top story.
On Friday, July 14th, customers can score a dozen glazed donuts for 86 cents.
Oh, they're saying it is Friday. What the hell? National French Fry Day.
Does feel like a Friday, though.
Poll question: best fries?
Not McDonald's anymore.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Thanks so much for being with us. So apparently today's National French Fries Day. Paul in our Twitch chat room alerted us to it.
Well, some controversy there.
Wait, there's controversy?
Yes.
How is that?
For years, National French Fry Day was observed on July the 13th.
Okay.
But last year, checkers and rallies gathered an online petition signatures asking the National Day Calendar, where I get all this information, to move National French Fry Day to the second Friday in July. Get it? Friday.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
So,
All right, so that would make it tomorrow, the 14th. So did they not get enough petitions
no,
signed?
they did, because according to the National Day Calendar, it is not listed as National French Fry Day today.
Huh.
You go to the National Day Calendar nearly every day to make sure we're not missing something very big on this show, David.
Now, are they the official, it's like Guinness Book of World Records. Are they the source? Whatever they say goes. Are they the Supreme Court of what day today is?
I mean, they do have nationaldaycalendar.com. That would seem that they have an edge on the competition.
It's just a website. I mean, hell, you and I have had websites.
We still do.
I know. During the commercial break, you can tell me how to get on ours.
millerandmoulton.com.
Well, I know, but I'm sure there's got to be a username or a password. And
Not for you.
Well, thank you.
In fact, if you wanted to, you can watch us on Twitch via our website.
That was a problem this morning. All right. Because the way that I do it when I'm home is, you send me a link and I click on it and shazam, it appears. And now, it's different. First off, I had to get into this computer. Thankfully they left the password on a piece of paper here. Whew. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get in. And you don't know the password to this computer because you never use it. So, at least I was able to get into the computer. But then I had to figure out,
You had to remember a username and password, didn't you? That you haven't used in a long time.
Right. And so I just typed in the name of the show and it worked. Whew, thank goodness. Otherwise, I'd have nothing. So are we going with, today's Friday or no?
Well,
apparently the fast food chains are offering like free French fries or something. And if they're doing that, then I'm sorry. They're giving away discounted or free food, then it's on.
It's both days.
Really?
I'm just telling you right now.
2 days worth, huh? How about this, by the way? Poll question. Best French fry. Because you stated very strongly and boldly during the commercial break, well, it's not McDonald's anymore.
It's not.
Okay.
Their fries have turned into junk.
Well, then, okay. To some, them's fighting words. That's all.
I'm wrong.
It depends on the McDonald's. For me.
No, they changed their oil. They changed what they did a long time ago, and they're not as good.
Right. They're
I
trying
don't
to
know if
get
they're
healthier.
trying to get cheaper. I don't think they're trying to get healthier.
Well, that could be too. That could be too. The drinks aren't as big. Okay. Hell, I don't think the burgers are as big. I don't think the fries are as big. But they're definitely I do think they're healthier. I don't want them healthier. I mean, I'm
They're
at McDonald's.
French fries.
I'm at McDonald's.
David, what about French fries is healthy?
What about McDonald's is healthy? I mean, when you pull into the parking lot, that's it right there. You have surrendered to, I'm not interested in my health. I'm interested in fast food. That's why I'm here.
Are you a Wendy's guy?
If there's a drive-through guy.
Okay, because Wendy's has had a fry glow up. Wendy's fries were notoriously bad and
Correct.
soggy, but
I
their
agree.
fries have glowed up. They're completely different now, and they're so much better. So they're up there for me.
I will say they are significantly improved. I don't know if they should make the list. Burger King has always had bad fries.
Always.
Always.
Burger King for years relied on their onion ring
Totally.
to get them through.
They were the only ones that had it. It was fantastic.
In fact,
Right.
their fries are so bad that I'm cool with just having the 2 or 3 left over in the onion ring box. I'm cool with that.
So I'm just curious who else makes the list.
Well, to me, you start and end with one place, and I don't think you'll accept this.
Five
because-
Guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your best fry.
Well,
That's your best fry of the 21st century.
well, it is clogged artery in a bag. I mean, there's no
and
doubt
it's
about it.
and you
It's-
can get the big, huge
Yeah.
bag. If you want to spend $7-8 on fries, they'll let you.
you can feed a family with their order of fries. You can.
I have my official pick.
Okay. So, well, first off, your official pick has to make the list.
Oh, no, this makes the list.
Once again,
He is really taking a lot of creative control of a
I
show
know.
that he has nothing to do with.
Once again, he's got something to do with, but his name is not on the show. He does seem to forget that. You know what you are? Okay, you're like that country in the UN. You are loud. You are proud. You don't have veto power, though. I'm just, you're not the U.S., England, France, China, and Russia. You're just not. Okay, but you're loud. You're smart. Okay, you are forceful. You are pressing the issue. Go.
Popeye Cajun fries.
Well, we'll see.
That makes the list.
Tell you what, 21,000. All right, we're going to do the poll question today. We're gonna combine it. It's National French Fry, I don't know, weekend.
There you go.
Okay, so this will make everybody happy. Today, tomorrow, we got you covered. All right, it just best fry. And I wonder how much of it based on reputation. Will McDonald's win? Because we will put them on the list. Will they win just based on reputation? That people still think of, because a lot of people don't eat fast food anymore. I mean, and like you don't hardly ever eat fast food anymore. Are you even a really good judge of this anymore?
I'm not. I've never had a Popeye's Cajun fry.
Woo.
And probably can safely say that I never will.
Now, see, I am going to, especially after I had my 2 bottles of barium today. I mean, you think about
good.
the dinner that I am going to have. All right, late this afternoon, after what I have to go through, starvation, 2 bottles of barium. Oh my goodness, what is that? Popeye's Cajun
fries.
Phew. In fact, I may go straight from the cancer clinic to a Popeye's drive-thru. Would it be bad if I walked into the cancer clinic with the bag of Popeyes? Hey, I haven't had any yet. Could you just keep these handy, though? When I leave, I want to hand them to me. I'll pay you $579 for this thing. You hand me the Popeyes. What do you say?
You want some? They give you a lot, too.
Okay, there you go. Then I'll tell you what, ladies, you can have a couple. Just keep them warm.
Yeah, there's no way those are warm after how long you got to be in that machine.
Well, there's got to be something in that. Please, there's something in that building that could keep them warm.
The machine that you're in.
I was going to say, if you guys may not have a microwave, but you got a big machine over there. It's 12 seconds. Put them in it.
See what color they come out.
I'll bet they glow.
Give you your barium right here.
Right.
Dip these fries in some barium for you and see how they taste.
Don't know how good these fries are, but they will have you back here for tests in 3 months. So it's just a thought.
You are right that as far as the fast food genre, I'm not even really eligible to vote.
No, I mean, basically, what is this, 2023? I mean, you've been to fast food like 3 times since the pandemic. Maybe.
Not a chance.
So, see? So you're going on reputation here. You're going on memory. I mean, your name's on the show, though, so you got a big vote. You're like France. Okay, in this case, why France still has veto power? I have no idea, but UN Charter, they've been in for 80 years. They get a vote. You're not a fast food guy anymore. You shouldn't have a vote, but you're in. You're on the charter.
So it's National French Fry Day or days, however you want to look at it. It used to be today. They petitioned to make it tomorrow, but the fast food people are at war giving away free stuff to you, the fast food consumer.
So, we've had Racer in our Twitch chat room nominating Checkers. Better than Popeyes, they say. Oh, okay, we'll take your votes for an hour, and then we'll make our list. The starting five is next. It'll be short because nothing's happening. David Moulton for Napa, Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
The thing about Kirsten, she has not developed. She's basically just a three-point shooter. They don't have her. She has not developed, or they're not letting.
Well, that's why I wonder, because they're going to put someone on that can defend her, keep up with her, and not let her shoot.
Well, the thing is, she's taller than the people that they will come out to guard her with, because she's 6'3". All right, 6'3" ish. So what I'm wondering, my hope is whenever her time comes, will she, drive to the basket, use a mid-range game, which she obviously did in college.
Right.
But then again, she was superior to who she was playing in college.
Right. That's why I was watching some highlights going, how good's she going to be?
I think the weakest part of her game is her three-point game. Okay, because her shot to me is her release point moves all the time. But God, the Norm McDonald. Oh my God.
Who even hosted that last night?
I have no idea. Rich Eisen did take to Twitter and he said, well, I was in the crowd. He goes, because I was working for them then. And he said, I'm not commenting about Norm. Okay. He said, but I can tell you that it did catch everybody off guard. He goes, and the athletes did not handle it well.
No.
Okay, they did not like it. He goes, I don't know who handled it worse, the athletes or the ESPN executives. He said, but the athletes were not very receptive to it. And see, to me, that's like when at the White House Correspondents, when they invited Imus, and then Clinton and Hillary got mad at him. And he basically looked at him and go, do you guys not listen to the show?
Well, that's
Do
the
you not
thing.
know
Norm
the
Macdonald, you
show?
hired Norm Macdonald. What
Right.
did you expect?
Right.
Did you watch any of the weekend updates?
I mean, he's got to be himself or he's a sellout. And to those guys, that's a big deal. No. If I'm going to play this room, I'm only going to play it once. I'm going to give you my show. I'm getting the same $50,000 whether you like it or not. So I'm
Right.
doing this for me. Holy mac. See, this is when the damn stores, they know we're trying to get in shape during the summer. We're trying to lose the weight now before football season, when we go back inside and we eat while watching football. Did you ever notice the fast food places the first 2 weeks of January? They discount everything. They BOGO everything. Why? Because everybody, January 1st, shape up, and so the fast food places go, oh, really? You're going to stop eating us, huh? Right.
Oh, really? I think it's good for Belle, though, that she's on such a great team with such great players. Like, she's playing with Hall of Famers.
Yes, but like we were talking about, when her time comes, I'm be curious where her game is, because on this team, the only thing she does is hang out on the perimeter and shoot threes.
And be a great bench person.
And so when her time comes, is she going to drive to the basket? Is she going to pull up and hit the 12-footer, which she did in college? Because, we've seen none of that as a pro. All she does is hang out on the perimeter and shoot a three.
I could see her being a great glue girl. I won't say glue guy because we're talking about the W.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's a good. Let's see if we can find the other stupid stories.
Ten seconds.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
"22 minutes before the hour. The magic numbers are 44, 49, and 56 to either week 0, week 1 of the college football seasons, and then to the Lions and Chiefs kicking off the NFL season. NFL training camps get underway with rookies reporting next week. Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Without further ado, it is time for
The Starting Five. 5 stories you need to know. It's the Starting Five on Miller and Moulton. Here's number 1.
First off, can I give you some live sports going on right now?
Do it.
Scottish Open leaderboard, Mark.
Look at that.
Rory McIlroy in a 3-way tie for the lead. He's 5 under through 13. I don't know. People want live sports in the morning. What can I tell you? So,
You think I'm going to find the Golf Channel?
Rory next week, the Open Championship. 9 years without winning a major. This is his last shot in 2023 coming up next week. 5 under through 13 at the Scottish Open. Gold Cup last night. The U.S. men lost to Panama in penalty kicks. Panama will face Mexico in the finals. Saquon Barkley, using the media yesterday, letting the Giants know that, if we don't work out a contract by Tuesday of next week, good chance I'm not going to be playing week 1 against the Cowboys, just so you know. So there, ball's in your court. If I were the Giants, I'd wait till Tuesday, and if he doesn't sign, I'd sign Dalvin Cook and rescind the offer. Or you know what I may do? I may try to work it so that I still, because I've made room on my cap for Barkley. So now all I have to do is make room for Dalvin Cook. And I can still leave the offer out there for Saquon. That means he can't go anywhere, you know. And I would just stare him in the face and go, eventually you're going to sign it. And by the way, I may trade your ass. So, fine. Do whatever you want there, buddy.
I'll tell you what. Fasting Moulton is a snarky GM. If I were your assistant GM, all I would say to you when you're making these type of comments is, David, have you had anything to eat yet today?
Well, I think what you would do is you would be Saquon's agent. You would say, listen, when did you talk to GM Moulton? Well, I talked to him early in the morning. Yeah, that's not good. I happen to know he's got a doctor's appointment today. He's got to fast. You talked to him when he was fasting? Saquon, are you out of your mind? Okay, you don't talk to him. You talk to him at 3 p.m, right after he's hit the drive-thru. And he's ordered 2 meals at once. In fact, hopefully you get him while he's like eating the meals in the parking lot.
Just quickly, sidebar. Well, I know you got this starting 5 thing to do.
That's right. There's not much on it.
I know. Do you get a nap in on a day like today because you got to wait all the way to this fasting?
No.
Do you try to sleep?
No, I can't. I got to drink the damn barium right after the show. Got the scan at 12:30.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No.
I mean, it's only a couple hours.
Then I got a big appointment at the bank. Apparently, we've got like valuable coins in a safety deposit box. Supposedly. I don't know. I guess my father left me them. All right. So we'll see what they're worth. I'm going to pick them up. And then I'm hitting the drive-thru.
Don't buy anything in the drive-thru with the coins. When it comes to 1408, David, do not use the coins.
Hey, is this Spanish Inquisition gold coin worth anything? No? Let's see what else we got. Hey, the All-Star game ratings came in.
They were terrible.
Not good. Not good. In fact, negotiations between Saquon and the Giants, All-Star game ratings. Which are worse? 7 million watched the All-Star game. Last year, about 8 million did. So apparently, though, a younger audience.
Right. They went up 1849 and went up 2554.
Right. They just went down in total viewers. Somehow, some way, Major League Baseball has figured out, it's easy to tell if attendance is up. But apparently, they've also figured out the average age of the person that's attending their games. Apparently, the average age of the person attending their games is 6 years younger than last year.
Baseball got hip all of a sudden.
That's interesting, though.
It's incredibly interesting. And if you're baseball, you're doing cartwheels over numbers like that because your audience has been getting older every year.
Yeah, I mean, the only audience that was older was golf than baseball. Right. If you're you making that trade, by the way, would you get less viewership, but the viewership that you're getting is younger? Would you make that trade? Think about it. I got a few other things to get to here. Not much, though. Not much. One other baseball note, the Rays and the Red Sox are going to play a couple of spring training games in the Dominican Republic. I don't know if that's the Rays losing home games or the Red Sox losing home games, but March 9th and 10th of next year, it's the Dominican Republic Classic, 2 games in the DR. I think baseball should do more of that. Puerto Rico, the Dominican, Mexico, absolutely. Because, and where we're doing the show from now is the spring training community in Fort Myers, and spring training's kind of jumped the shark. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, the games were more important to the fans, and you couldn't get a ticket. Now, people have kind of figured it out. Wow, none of the regulars are playing. And if they do, they play like 3 innings. And I got to pay $35 for these tickets? So I think spring training, don't get me wrong, people come down, from the north and then this and the other thing. But I do think spring training has jumped the shark a little bit. So if I was baseball, I would play spring training games elsewhere where they would go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for them.
Oh.
And the likelihood is the regulars will play more innings in the DR and Puerto Rico and Mexico than they would in Fort Myers and Clearwater.
You're dead on with that.
And those games will have a World Baseball Classic feel.
Totally.
Especially if the Yankees are in town.
So, speaking of the Yankees.
Oh, no. You're not going there, are you?
Well, I'm just going to mention it, and then we'll talk about it in detail at the top of the hour. The
sky is falling.
Yes, it is. The Yankees joined the Mets and a couple of other franchises in selling an advertising patch on their sleeve. An insurance company is paying $25 million a year to have their advertising on the left sleeve of the Yankees uniforms, and it's an 8-year deal. I mean, the Yankees just made $200 million yesterday, but they put an advertisement on their uniforms. All right, we will get to it in greater detail coming up at the top of the hour. Wimbledon yesterday, the two Americans left both lost. Madison Keys never really in the match with the second seed Sabalenka. The 6th seed Jabeur will play Sabalenka in the semis. She took out the 3 seed Rybakina. Chris Eubanks, he was up 2-1, took the 3rd seed Medvedev to a 4th-set tiebreaker, lost it, then got steamrolled in the 5th. Medvedev and Alcaraz will meet in the semis. Djokovic is already in the other semi. By the way, there's a bit of a controversy at Wimbledon. Apparently, Alcaraz's dad videotaped the Djokovic practice. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. I mean, that's like, the Patriots there, the film. I mean, you can't do that. And that's a no-no. And then they're trying to pawn it off as, we kind of, idolize them. And, this is my dad's favorite player, which I kind of find hard to believe. They're from Spain. Who do you think they grew up idolizing?
Maybe this Rafi guy?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Rafa, considering Alcaraz is 16 years younger. I'm going to go out on a limb, that's all. That, when Rafa won his first French, that he was 4. I'm just calling me crazy. So anyway, it's kind of that could be a thing. That's all. No Americans left in Wimbledon. Did you catch this story? 7 NIL entities from Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida State, USC, Michigan, and Penn State have formed the Collective Association. And other schools and their collectives can join it. And apparently they are saying, hey, athletes, follow our guidelines, okay, as to how you can, A, make more NIL money, and B, never be considered an employee. Because, that could be an issue going forward here with whatever Congress may or may not do, and whatever the NCAA may or may not do, and whatever state legislatures may or may not do. So that's interesting.
I thought it was fascinating. And they're trying to keep this one step ahead of what the government and the NCAA is doing and keep on board with that. And also try to make the athletes a lot more money. This is something to keep an eye on.
And Felipe, feel free to correct me on my pronunciation. Does he pronounce it Wagner or Wagner?
Wagner.
That's what I thought, because he's German, right? Martins Wagner?
Mo or Franz?
Okay, I think I don't know. He's with the Orlando Magic.
Well, they're brothers, and they're both with the Magic, where you're probably talking about Mo Wagner. Moritz Wagner.
There you go, Moritz. My bad. I couldn't read my handwriting there. It's Moritz. Okay, so Mo Wagner signed a 2-year, $16 million deal, $8 million a year. Don't even know. I mean, that's how much money they're throwing around in the NBA. Hey, you're hardly going to play. What do you say? $8 million a year to hang out in Orlando. It's tax-free. You good?
He played at Michigan.
I understand that, but he's, it's a young guy in the NBA. He's a role player. He could. All right. I mean, the other brother is the one who's kind of the
Franz. Yes.
Yeah,
he's a bucket getter.
Yeah, he's
What
the
is this,
go-to guy.
Hans and Franz from the old SNL skit?
Listen, if you're the Magic,
I want to
pump
shoot your
you
three.
up.
Only Franz.
And finally, 84-year-old Dick Vitale, who, if you follow him on Twitter, okay, you're very well aware of all of his doctor appointments. And he went to Boston, and they did a minor procedure on his vocal cords. And while they were there, they found out he's got cancer. And he battled cancer last year, and it went into remission. He's got vocal cord cancer. They're optimistic, but he needs 6 weeks of radiation. And then he says, hey, and then I'll be ready to go. Broadcast college basketball games.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 84-year-old Dick Vitale, not stopping anytime soon. And he is beloved at ESPN and by many of the national media and many coaches also. They come to, Lakewood Ranch there.
Right, for his big visa.
And he raises 7 figures every year for kids fighting cancer. And, so 84-year-old Dick Vitale is going to need 6 weeks of radiation for vocal cord cancer. And at 9 minutes before the hour, that was
the starting five every weekday morning at this time on Miller and Moulton.
So, yeah, on the other side, we will get to it in greater detail. I mean, we began the show lighthearted, today or tomorrow is National French Fry Day. So, we are taking your nominations as to what places fries should be on the poll question.
To tell you where McDonald's has slipped and how hard they've slipped in this category, McDonald's is giving away free fries today. If McDonald's said 20 years ago that it's National Friday and they're giving free fries away, there would be no controversy as to what day National Fry Day would be. The fact that it's over 2 days shows you that the Mickey D's fry has slipped.
Wow. You think so, huh? I will say this. If 20 years ago they were giving away free fries, communities would be shut down. It'd be like 1970s waiting in line for gas lines. They would just go for miles. What are you doing? Waiting in line for McDonald's. It's a mile and a half up the road. Yeah, I know, but they're giving away free fries.
I'm tempted to show you the power of the McDonald's app, but I'm kind of concerned for your own good if I do that, because you can get deals like that.
Yeah, there's just very quickly. I know we're pressed for time. So we got my mother an iPad many years ago. You think I'm technologically challenged and against technology? You can only imagine where I get that from. My mother is that on steroids. And so, we gave the iPad to our daughter, figuring that's the only person who has a chance to sell her on keeping the iPad. Because I literally thought she was going to take it and throw it out right in front of us. That's how anti the thought of an iPad she was. But so we give her the iPad and she goes, "What's this?" And we had already put the Burger King app, the McDonald's app, like all the Wendy's, we had all the fast food things on it. So we put the iPad in the possession of her only grandchild, and then B, the only apps that were on her screen, were that of fast food places. Now she's buying stuff at 2 a.m. on it. But we sold her on it with fast food.
Miller and Moulton, it's National Friday. Where do you get your fries? More to come next.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Life Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlifetransportation.com.
David Moulton for Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
Miller and Moulton here for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
Mark, remember Nick Charles, Fred Hickman, the CNN Play of the Day?
Yeah, CNN did a nightly sports show. That was a while ago.
Yes, it was. Just work with me. Everyone liked the pod, the Play of the Day. So how about we have the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day?
Sounds good. Fun. Smooth. Like Clutch Vodka.
Listen weekday mornings for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
That's Clutch with a K.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
ESPYs in the starting five, please. Last time I paid attention to the ESPYs was when FGCU was in them 10 years ago. That's because we had to.
Oh, stop. You were pretty excited. You were texting me during it that they got moved to the aisle because they were going to win. So don't start playing this because we had stuff.
I definitely was excited.
Excited about what now?
10 years ago.
When FGCU won an ESPY.
Yeah. They got invited, and then Pat Pearson, the SID at the time, he was about ready to leave and go to Arkansas. He texted, he said, "We got moved to the aisle. I think that means we're going to win."
They ended up, obviously they have the trophy in the,
So that Matt Vincenzi that we've had on a few times, golf betting guy, guy, got let go by the Action Network. So we doing Yankee uniforms here?
Totally. Are you kidding?
No, we got the quarterback show too. We got a couple BS segments we can get.
Yeah, I know, but we could do a lot on this. Are you kidding me? This is the greatest uniform in North American sports.
All right, Jimmy Page isn't dead. Always like to see when someone's trending on Twitter that it's not that they died.
Ambien, I'm sorry. Okay. It's basically, it's a made-up award show by ESPN to fill a night of programming when they have nothing to show. And that's literally what it is. And it's their way to ingratiate themselves with stars and their agents for future access. I mean, just so you know. I mean, that's what the ESPYs is all about.
I mean, there's a reason why it's always this time of the year.
Right.
It's, yeah.
I mean,
Nothing else on.
Well, MFH, I didn't watch much of the game, but the goal we gave up was certainly not his fault. It was the goaltender's fault, who made a terrible play.
although the coach admitted that apparently they were very bad in the first half, and the coach said, yeah, that was all me. I had us lined up wrong. He said, so the first half performance was all on me. But he's the interim coach anyway. I mean, you know, he's done here soon. I like it when a coach admits I screwed up. And it's genuine. It's not just, you know, taking the false bullet for the team.
10 seconds. Oh, there's the Joker. Oh, never mind.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Fired up on this Thursday. Hope your week is going well. Thanks for being with us. Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Magic numbers 44, 49, and 56. 44 to week 0, 49, 7 weeks tonight. Gators UCF amongst the teams in action as week 1 of the college football season kicks off with the Thursday before Labor Day. And then 8 weeks tonight, Lions and Chiefs kicking off the NFL season, 44, 49, and 56. NFL training camps getting underway tomorrow or next week, NFL made it official yesterday, Jets Hard Knocks. No surprise, especially considering the HBO camera crews had already set up shop renting hotel space near Florham Park, New Jersey.
Yeah, when I saw that yesterday, I thought, what am I missing here?
Yeah.
Didn't we already know this was the case?
Well, yeah, especially since Mark Murphy of the Packers had already talked about, you know, hope the Jets handle Hard Knocks well. So, yes. But, Mark, the sign of the apocalypse, the nomination for the week, I believe, will go to the New York Yankees. Because the Yankees sold a sponsored patch on the left sleeve of their uniforms. If I were to say that the Yankees pinstriped uniform, particularly the home one, I mean, you know, the white with the black pinstripes, is the most iconic uniform in North American sports, would you have a problem with that?
No, because it is.
No names on the back of jerseys ever, home or away. And the Yankees still have rules about facial hair and, you know, length of hair, even that, you know, but they sold to Star with 2 R's, Star Insurance, paid $25 million a year for 8 years. That's $200 million. Quick sidebar: if you have Star Insurance, your premiums may go up. The Yankees joined the Mets, the Red Sox, and Dodgers.
By the way, how much of an ego play is this for whoever the CEO of, what is it, Star Insurance?
Star Insurance.
Because I don't see the return on investment coming here. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a couple of corporate deals that would take it to the next level, David. But I don't see the ROI on this being much more than an ego play for whoever the president CEO of Star Insurance is.
Well, that person is Maurice Greenberg, and apparently he's been friends with the Steinbrenner family for a long time, going all the way back to being close with George. So when the Yankees are announcing the deal, $25 million annually. Quick question. In terms of revenue that the Yankees bring in, what percentage do you believe $25 million a year is to the revenue that the Yankees bring in?
A pretty low percentage. I would think that the Yankees, oh God.
Well,
I don't think they do $1 billion in annual revenue, but I think that they do $500 million in annual revenue.
It's apparently 4% of their annual revenue. So the Yankees, in making this decision, for those that just feel that this is sacrilegious to impugn the Yankees uniform with an advertising patch. And I mean, this deal goes through 2031, by the way. I mean, like the Mets unveiled theirs a couple months ago, and the backlash was not the patch.
It was the colors of the patch.
Yeah, that the patch, it looked awful.
It looked Phillies colors. And even Cohen said it looked too Phillies and made them change it. Now they have.
Right. So, and I will say, the Yankees patch looks nice. I mean, the colors, if you can have an advertising patch that looks a little regal.
What's next, David? They're going to get Preparation H to advertise on the back pants of their uniforms. Are you kidding me that it looks nice? It's a joke.
I said
it's a joke that a team with that much revenue needs to add $25 million by putting Star Insurance. This is an ego play.
Well, no, it's a revenue play. It's an ego play by Star Insurance. But it's a revenue play. The Yankees sold out for the buck. In this case, $25 million annually. Which, by the way, you did this for a living. You sold, naming rights on arenas and, does that figure surprise you? Like, we're having the meeting. You're the Yankees. I come in which I find out you're considering putting your patches on your uniforms. Okay. When you found out that they pay $25 million a year, was your first reaction that's about right, or was your first reaction, damn, that's a lot of money?
My first reaction was that was about right.
It's the Yankees.
It's the Yankees.
It's the only national team in that sport. It is. You can get mad at me all you want, Red Sox, Dodgers, Cardinals fan. There's one national team in that sport. That's the team. People coast to coast watch that team.
And David, Star Insurance is getting their $25 million
today.
They are.
Now, I don't know if they're going to get it the next 7 years, but they're certainly getting it for 2023.
They're getting it today.
So, if you were the Yankees, would you have done it?
No, I would have looked at everybody and said, we can't make this $25 million a year in another way. What are we missing that we can't get this revenue? No, and I'm being serious.
Okay, but what if you couldn't? I mean, what if honestly, let's just say you sit down, you think you're maxed out right now. I mean, we are
this
charging.
Doesn't even get you a back end bullpen guy anymore, David.
Well, that's not true. I mean, it doesn't get you a starter in the NBA.
But the tax that you're at already and what you're paying to the rest of the teams, this $25 million is only, 12 in payroll?
I will say this, though. This is the bind that it puts you in. If you were the Yankees, you're Mr. Steinbrenner, and I'd be sitting there and I'm going, just so you know, when you do this patch and people find out how much it's worth, you can't then tell our fan base that we couldn't go get Ohtani. Just so you know. Okay, because before the patch, his whatever it was going to cost per year to get Ohtani, the Yankee fan is now going to say, well, take that Star Insurance money and make sure you get Ohtani. And boss, I'm just telling you, they're not going to be wrong. I mean, I could do the 3 hours on FAN right now and tell you what it's going to sound like when we don't get Ohtani. How did we get outbid for Ohtani? We're making $25 million on the sleeves of our uniforms. What do you mean you couldn't afford Ohtani?
It's a great point, David. They will crush the Yankees when he goes to Seattle for whatever money he goes to Seattle for.
Well, you at least have to be going forward now. I think you have to say, just so you know, we can't get outbid. Like Maddox chose the Braves over the Yankees. The Yankees had more money on the table. And Maddox just said, I didn't want to go to New York. But it was known the Yankees had the biggest offer on the table. Fan base couldn't get mad at the Yankees because they didn't get Maddox. He didn't want to play for him. Chose Atlanta. I mean, that's now what I would say to Mr. Steinbrenner. I would say, just so you know, when it's somebody that the fan base really wants, we've got to be the biggest offer on the table. They don't want to play for us. That's a different story. But $25 million in the patch. In fact, if you think about it, I mean, we could be the biggest offer for about 3-4 guys. I mean, we could take $5-6 million off of the patch. I mean, we could line up 5 guys, offer $5 million more than everybody else. How are you able to offer that? Star Insurance. In fact, you just opened the press conference by saying, I'd like to thank Star Insurance for making this signing possible. Here's Shohei Ohtani.
Now you get Shohei. Star Insurance gets their money. Every Yankee fan switching to Star Insurance in some way, shape, or form for whatever they can.
And not only that, that is a gorgeous patch. In fact, we could even make it a little bit bigger. In fact, is there a way to put it on the helmet? Is there a way to put it on the hat? But in all seriousness, back to let's just say we're maxed out revenue-wise. You've been in these meetings. I haven't. But you're
right. There's nothing else to sell. There's no more signs. There's no more TV. There's no more radio.
Right.
You've sold it all.
The Heinekens are $16, sir. Do we need the $25 million a year for the statement that it's going to make? This is our uniform. The most sacrosanct uniform literally in North American sports.
And I don't think so. I think they could have lived without it and been just fine. What's their revenue again?
Well, do the math. $25 million a year is 4%. So you figure it out. That's the revenue they're bringing in, which also, by the way, if you're a fan, you sit down, you do the math, and you go, how come our lineup sucks?
Not because of what they're spending. It's because of how they're producing.
Well, or who we're spending it on.
Well, there you go.
What the heck? So, I mean, 4%. So that means you times 25 by 25, don't you? So that means their annual revenue is $625 million. So in other words, does it need to be 650?
That's the question you ask. And it is, you are right. This is today's sign of the apocalypse. Because there's not a Yankee fan out there. Until they sign Ohtani, there's not a Yankee fan out there that's going to agree with this patch.
And they're not getting Ohtani either. They're not. And I'm telling you, they don't have to sign all these players going forward, but they have to make sure they're not outbid. They have to have guys and their agents say, no, we just wanted to play here. We were the biggest offer on the table. Oh, okay. I mean, you can't do more than offer the most money. But now it's going to be tough to argue that we're being outbid. What do you mean we got outbid? What the hell are we using that Star Insurance money for?
Maybe you should keep smoking and not worry about the patch.
But when we come back, I'm wondering, does this patch lead to other things?
Oh, boy.
Just wondering. Remember, we're taking your input today and or tomorrow is National French Fry Day. We're going to have a poll question. What places fries should be in the poll question? 21,000. Twitch chat room, let us know your nominees.
Miller and Moulton. That text line, by the way, 21,000-2100 for the best fries. And we'll get the poll question up. More on the Yankees and the patch next. Miller and Moulton.
David Moulton for Napa, Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa filters.
Miller and Moulton here for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
Mark, remember Nick Charles, Fred Hickman, the CNN Play of the Day?
Yeah, CNN did a nightly sports show. That was a while ago.
Yes, it was. Just work with me. Everyone liked the pod, the Play of the Day. So how about we have the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day?
Sounds good. fun, smooth, like Clutch Vodka.
Listen weekday mornings for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
That's Clutch with a K.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. By the way, Live Aid was today in 1985.
That was so awesome.
David, my flight from Pittsburgh to RSW Saturday night,
Okay.
Southwest,
Yeah.
16 passengers.
Those
Literally, the Southwest girl, as they're getting on, going, can you guys keep it in the first 10 rows? Like, they weren't being dicks about it, but they, so we don't have to clean
Yeah.
up. Would you guys keep it in the first 10 rows for us? Everybody did. Like,
Yeah.
I sat aisle to aisle. We took the
Right.
whole third row. Maddie
Right.
took the window. We took row 3.
Good. Hey, those are the ones that you worry they're going to cancel the flight because the airline just goes, nah, we're losing money on this one.
How are they and you know, Southwest, who has a sense of humor.
Yep.
What did they call it? Welcome to our executive jet service to Fort Myers. I appreciate that, Jim. I know you're trying to be snarky, but I take that with a lot of positivity.
So what do we think our Final Four is right now with fries?
Well, you got to put McDonald's on there. I think your
Right.
point is
Yeah,
is
got to
valid.
put it on there. I think Five Guys is going to make it. We've had a few people nominate Five Guys.
And then Arby's curly fries have made a couple appearances on
Interesting.
both.
Felipe, what's your vote right now? The 4 finalists for fries. Poll question. Spit it out.
I don't know the.
Your Felipe, your 4. If you were doing the poll question, it would be
like my top 4. Cajun fries, McDonald's fries.
so Popeyes, McDonald's.
Yeah, Popeyes, McDonald's. That's tough. Popeyes, McDonald's, Whataburger,
We don't even have those around here.
Wendy's. So
Whataburger and Wendy's. Okay.
Who cares?
First one for Whataburger. We don't have wood, although there's one in Jacksonville.
What station are we on there?
Exactly. Working on it.
Getting that guy at all to talk to you?
ESPN 680. Yes. Yep. And the other thing I've said to him is that I'll come into your studio. We'll do the show.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Thanks so much for being with us. We're taking your input before we post our poll question. We'll post it at the top of the hour. Today or tomorrow, depending. It was today, but there was a movement last year to push National French Fry Day to tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow is
Friday.
See?
They're sneaky.
See what they were doing there? But apparently July 13th has always been National French Fry Day. There was a movement to just make it the second Friday in July, whatever day that would be, which could be anywhere from the 8th to the 14th. So depending on where you look, tomorrow could be National French Fry Day. Most places, at least business establishments, are doing their French fry promotion today. So we'll post poll question, best fries place, whatever, at the top of the hour. But we're taking your input. McDonald's is going to be one of the 4 choices. Whether or not you think it is or not, reputation alone and what have you, they
It
were
would
the
be
gold
on the
standard.
Mount Rushmore
Yes,
of French fries.
no doubt. Whether you think they're as good now as they were, just listen. They're the gold standard. Doesn't mean they win every year, but that's the bar that you're trying to beat. So a lot of Five Guys. We've had
Felipe very big on this Popeyes
And
Cajun fry.
Yes, and a few have gone with him. All right. And, we've had other. So, just let us know your input and we'll do the best we can on the fly.
Arby's getting a lot of love.
That's interesting. Must be the curly fries.
They used to have good fries. I haven't had Arby's and I don't even know.
curly fries are a very popular choice of fry. Not a lot of people.
Thanks for that, Felipe.
Not a lot of
Connecticut School of Broadcasting really coming
I feel
in.
like not people hate curly fries.
Now, I would agree with you on that. Put it this way. When they say, very quickly, and they go, regular or curly?
Every time.
You?
Regular.
Okay.
Oh, crazy.
Now, when they say fries or rings?
Depends on the mood.
Okay. All right.
Depends on the mood. But if there's an onion ring to be had, because not a lot of places offer the onion ring. Usually
Exactly.
when you get the offer for the onion ring, you take the onion ring.
Exactly. It's like the occasional place growing up that offered birch beer or root beer or black cherry soda. And you went, why, yes, I would love one of those. Thank you. I have a feeling Felipe is going to look up birch beer.
Might be the first thing right now that slipped over his head.
That's, I think, the first thing that he's like, what the are they talking about? So thanks for listening, Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network. The Yankees put an advertising patch on their left shoulder on their uniforms. They did so yesterday, had a big press conference. Star with 2 R's, Star Insurance. $25 million a year they're paying for the advertisement on the left sleeve of the Yankees uniform. That's right. the most iconic uniform in sport. The home white with the black pinstripe. It's a beautiful uniform. No names on the back. Never a name. You know, Steinbrenner was adamant about no facial hair. You know, you could have a mustache, but you couldn't have a goatee. Certainly not a beard. And once we got through the whole 70s, you know, with the hair coming out the sides, once we got to the 80s, once Reagan got in the White House, he even reined in your hair. It's like, no. We got to do disco's done. Okay. We're done doing cocaine on the streets of New York. No. We got to come on now. Got to rein this in. And that's what I'm wondering. So you get acquired by the Yankees and you've got facial hair. And they go, you know, you got to shave. And you go, really? You guys have an insurance patch on your sleeve. I'm not shaving.
You are such a blankety blank. And
I put the patch on the sleeve. They did.
What does that have to do with you having a cleanly shaven face?
If you desecrated your uniform, you're telling me that I can't keep my goatee? Seriously. You have an insurance patch on your uniform. And my facial hair is a violation of team rules? Kiss my blank. You need my homers and RBIs. Okay?
God, I wish you'd get signed. There's just...
Have you seen Josh Donaldson and DJ LeMahieu at third base, okay? Trust me. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Leave my hair alone.
I mean, my God, Michael Kay gave it to the damn bat boy from Cleveland for an inning and a half.
Well, I'm just wondering. You can be the high and mighty Yankees, and then you put an insurance patch?
So this just gets rid of 120 years of history.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if there's a business that you could put on the sleeve that you wouldn't get mocked for. I actually think, I'm telling you, the patch looks pretty good. Okay. And it's, you know, and I would take the word insurance off of the patch. I would just have it be star, STARR, but it's big letters star, little letters insurance underneath. I actually think they did a really good job with the patch as you know,
as patches go,
as if you're desecrating the uniform, but I think they did about as good a job as you could of desecrating the uniform. It's not tacky patch.
I would agree with that.
Now, the putting the patch on, you could say is tacky. But am I really out of line if I'm a player from another team and I go, are you serious? You're selling insurance on the uniform. You're worried about my hair? How about you just shut up and put me in the lineup? Seriously. You got to be kidding me.
Thank goodness players don't act like you.
Well, you think there's not going to be a player one day? And also, now that we're putting patches on uniforms, when do we put the names on the back of the jerseys? Seriously.
$25 million, I'll put your name on the back of a jersey. Pay me back the $25 million that I'm paying you.
Well,
how about shut up and play? You know, you want to have your issues. You want to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Go ahead. But when you play for the Yankees, you shave your face and you cut your hair. We're not asking a whole hell of a lot. You're compensated pretty well.
If Ohtani wants his name on the back of his jersey, his Yankees jersey,
he's not going to get it.
See how fast they put that name on that jersey.
They wouldn't do it.
Okay,
not
well,
in
then
a
the
million
Yankees are
years.
stupid. But that's hypothetical.
All right.
I'm with you, David.
Okay.
I think it's ridiculous.
All right. Here's the deal. I'll sign with you. You got to put Shohei on the back. By the way, what number is Ohtani again?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Okay, because, you know, the Yankees have so many damn numbers retired. I mean, that could be another
17.
Well, let's see, 17. Do the Yankees have 17 retired? I don't think they do. I think 17's available. Because that's a problem. I mean, they've got a lot of retired.
17's available.
There we go. Good deal.
Whitey Ford was 16.
Right.
Thurman Munson 15, and then you go to Jorge Posada at 20.
Right. So, thank goodness. Thank goodness this is because Let's be honest. Now we're getting to the point of, all right, could you imagine if he was 15? You have to go to the Munson family and go, listen, he wants to play for us and what have you, but he wants to wear number 15. Our reaction is no, but, we thought, how about if we just come to you? Listen, they do it in colleges all the time. Listen, once you put the patch on the arm, I'm just saying you open yourself up to a lot of issues.
Miller and Costanza on the show this morning. 21,000's our text line. George in the Babe Ruth jersey that he took out of Mr. Steinbrunner's office this morning.
The Yankees put an advertisement on their uniform. The Yankees.
This has more people been out of shape than it does me. This is something I always saw coming. Now, I didn't think the Yankees would be the fourth team
I thought
on the
they'd be
list.
the last team.
That I agree with. It is $200 million, by the way.
Over 8 years. It's only 4% of their revenue.
Miller and Moulton here for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
Mark, remember Nick Charles, Fred Hickman, the CNN Play of the Day?
Yeah, CNN did a nightly sports show. That was a while ago.
Yes, it was. Just worked with me. Everyone liked the pod, the Play of the Day. So how about we have the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day?
Sounds good. Fun. Smooth. Like Clutch Vodka.
Listen weekday mornings for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
That's Clutch with a K.
David Moulton for Napa, Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. All right.
So we're at McDonald's, Five Guys. We've had a lot of Arby's curly.
Mm-hmm. I've got Popeyes, Cajun, Arby's, Curly, Five Guys, and McDonald's.
Okay. And then hold on to it. We'll see whether or not Chick-fil-A waffle get in or not.
Sure.
Whether or not there's a
I just hope this is a good text. I just hope this isn't a gateway advertisement and the Yankees get addicted.
well played.
It's pretty good. It was pretty funny when we were talking, I don't know, we were talking about commencement speakers or something. Somebody texted I was fortunate enough to have George W. Bush, our commencement speaker, at a small liberal arts school in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And there's only two. There's Hope and Calvin, the two colleges. I'm like, and I put Hope ? Calvin, fuck Hope, LOL. Burger King. Burger King has the worst fries. I think Culver's fries suck. And a lot of you like Culver's fries. I'm not a waffle fry guy. Or no, they have crinkle cut. They're not waffle fries. Chick-fil-A's the waffle fry. They have crinkle cut fries, which are equally as disgusting.
We're getting paid tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
That's good.
Ambient Zaxby is your chicken finger headquarters in the South.
PDQ's got good fries too.
By the way, you keep saying black. Aren't the Yankees blue?
I don't think
navy
so.
blue.
Wow, that's really dark. And that's really dark. To me, it's always looked black, but maybe it is.
Oh, air fryer fries suck compared to real fries, DC. Come on now. I make air fryer fries. No, don't play that game. Fries need grease. You can fake it and you can act like it's a little healthier. I'm fine with that. But don't start telling me that a air fryer fry is better than a Five Guys fry. That's crap.
I will say Ohtani does kind of have the Yankees look already. I mean, he's got a baby face. Here we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
At 22 minutes before the hour, thanks so much for being with us on this Thursday. Hope your week is going well. We can get to the finish line together. 44 days before week 0, 49, 7 weeks tonight. Gators and UCF in action. Not against each other, mind you. That's in 2024. And 8 weeks tonight, Lions and Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. Speaking of football, we had this conversation a few weeks ago, and we've had, if you're just joining us, well, first off, good morning. And secondly, two major topics of conversation. The Yankees sold an advertising patch on their left sleeve to Star with 2 R's Insurance, based out of New York. $25 million a year, by the way, for 8 years. Through 2031, $25 million a year. 4% of the Yankees' yearly revenue. So the Yankees' revenue is over $600 million a year. Just, throwing that out there.
Right.
That's one team. That's what they generate. Mm-hmm. The sport generates about 10 to 11 billion. They generate 600 million on their own. So we digress. But that's, just commenting. Are you okay with it? Do you think this is the end of Western civilization as we know it? Should the Yankees have done it, etc. But the other topic is either today or tomorrow is National French Fry Day. It was July 13th. There was a movement last year to move it to Friday, the second one in July every year, no matter what day that turns out to be.
And the National Day Calendar, who has all these things and seems to be the authority, agreed with them.
Right.
According to their site, National Friday is tomorrow.
But a lot of places are having some sort of fry discount or free fries today.
Think about that. You got a Slurpee earlier in the week and you're getting fries today.
Right.
I did take advantage of the Slurpee. Took the daughter right after the show.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
She's a big fan of the Slurpee.
She's 9.
Right.
I mean, if they lose her, they're done.
It's a damn good point, David.
By the way, I sense that this week is kind of like the first 2 weeks in January. You know how all the fast food places gang up on us because all of us go, New Year's resolution, going to start working out and losing weight. And all the fast food places go, really? How about 3 Whoppers for $5? And they all offer their specials. And people like me fall for them. And I don't know. I've paid attention around the country. There's a lot of people who look like me. So I'm guessing they're in line too. I'm never in line by myself, Mark. I know that.
That's for sure.
So, favorite fries. We've got 4 finalists. 20 more minutes. We're taking your input, and then we're going to post the question as to, favorite fries. But we talked about this particular topic that I'm about to bring up a few weeks ago, and it's now coming up for discussion again. How much is Notre Dame football worth? I bring that up because the Yankees patch is worth $25 million annually. Well, right now, NBC pays roughly that per year for the 7 Notre Dame games that they get.
And Notre Dame's going to want at least 2.5 times that.
Well, and certainly, yeah, and certainly double. I mean, they're like, listen, in order for us to be able to compete with the Big Ten and the SEC, this deal's got to be double. Now, there's a fascinating subplot to this. Notre Dame has an athletic director who's leaving in less than a year, and the guy who's replacing him works for NBC Sports, Pete Bavacqua. He's actually handled these negotiations. So when Notre Dame's negotiating with NBC right now, are they negotiating with themselves? Is NBC negotiating against a stacked deck? I don't know. Can you excuse Bavacqua from the negotiations? Should he sit on the other side of the table for these negotiations? I find that fascinating just in and of itself.
We'll find out this and more next week on Soap. Sorry, you've got to be from the late 70s to understand that, but that's exactly what David just did there.
Just needed the music in the background. Ba-dum, ba-dum. So it then led to the, hey, what is Notre Dame football worth? I mean, is a Notre Dame football game worth $7, $8, $9, $10 million? Now, when they're hosting Ohio State this year on September 23rd in prime time, yeah, that game's worth $10 million. Damn right it is. I mean, that's going to be a very highly rated game. I'm willing to bet it's one of the 5 highest rated regular season games of the year. Ohio State at Notre Dame. Whew. NBC, first year they're carrying the Big Ten, all the hoopla they're putting behind it. Oh, yeah. That'll get a few eyeballs. Ohio State and Notre Dame. Damn.
Or it'll do a monster number.
Yeah. So that game's worth, whatever you want to charge it. But, what about when they're playing Navy? What about when they're playing Kent State, Tennessee State? So what is it? And here's the problem. Fox can't bid, no matter how much Fox would want. They got the Big Ten and the Big 12 contracts. They can't make special allowances for Notre Dame. I don't think ESPN can either between the SEC and the ACC. Now, could CBS possibly, but they're now committed beginning this year. They'll do a partial, very partial Big Ten schedule. And beginning next year, they'll do a Big Ten game at 3:30 every week. Well, Notre Dame's not going to move their home games to noon because that's 11 a.m. local time. And they can't play the, games at night. And so anyway.
So just to reiterate what David is saying about the schedule, Notre Dame has 7 home games.
Yeah.
That's this year. This deal's already done. But if it was this year, the games you're getting, Navy.
Right.
Tennessee State.
There you go.
Central Michigan.
By the way, I think Tennessee State may be moved to
Peacock. And I will join you in saying Peacock when it comes to a Tennessee State game. Central Michigan. If Tennessee State doesn't get moved to Peacock, Central Michigan will get moved to Peacock. The Buckeyes.
By the way, Felipe's about ready to walk out on us. One more Peacock. I think he's going down the hall, walking right out the door.
That's all right. I know how to work that side of the glass, too. Don't kid yourself. So the Buckeyes, USC, Pitt, Wake Forest.
Ohio State, USC.
Right.
I mean, that's, you get the whole year. The other games are, maybe worth $1 to you, but those 2 games alone are worth what you're paying this year. And I could see where Notre Dame's like, listen, for example, just inside the industry, the networks are trying to sell their fall programming right now. And the networks have found out that, advertisers don't want to buy their comedies and their dramas. The networks are having a really hard time selling their comedies and the dramas. Do you know what they're not having a hard time selling?
Live sports.
At all. That's now the gold standard of network television from an advertiser standpoint. They know the audience they're getting. They know the demographic. They know how many, and they're
not DVRing games where they are DVRing shows.
Right. And so that's why live sports programming, all these deals are only going up, up, up. Like the NBA is sitting down right now, even though they have 2 more years left on their current deal. And the NBA has let it be known. It's why Turner may lose the NBA or greatly reduce their package. I mean, the NBA has let it be known to the people that are interested. Yeah, see the current revenue, times it by 3. That's what we're looking for. And if you're not willing to go there, you're out. Feel free to look up what the networks are paying for NBA programming annually right now, then times it by 3. I mean, that's almost NFL numbers that the NBA is going to ask for from some networks. Almost.
For numbers that are going down, too.
But the demographic is a very appealing demographic.
Right.
So
they do very well in the 1849, and that's key.
It is. So, but back to Notre Dame, which got us
which doesn't do well 18 to 49.
No, it does not. It does not. But they attract an audience, a loyal audience, particularly if they know where the game is going to be. But we wondered, can Notre Dame get what they're looking for? And if not, will that force them to join a conference? And then it becomes really, there's seemingly only 2 choices. They formalize the relationship that they have now with the ACC. We just say, you know what,
we're full members.
Yeah, we've been dating, seriously dating even, but no interest in getting engaged or married. I guess now we got to take the next step. Because we're already playing 5 ACC games a year. We might as well just,
And we're in it every other sport.
Yeah, where we play a full schedule. So we might as well just play 3-4 more ACC games and be a member of the conference, particularly now with the 12-team playoff coming. And if you win your conference, it's an automatic berth.
Of course, we'll stay in the Big Ten for hockey.
Or that's the conference that we move to. There is now a thought process out there where could they get both? Is Notre Dame, if you're the Big Ten, hear me out. You're the Big Ten, I'm Notre Dame. And I say to you, and remember, they got a new commissioner now. This commissioner's never had Notre Dame tell them no before. You're Tony Petitti, and you've been in the job an hour and a half, and Notre Dame calls you up and says, you want us? You can have us. It's a pretty big coup. I mean, you might as well, you got that contract extension right now. It's done.
Right.
But here's the deal. We want our home games on NBC, and then our road games can be on either Fox, CBS, or even NBC. We don't care. Okay. But we want to keep our home package. And Tony Petitti goes, yeah, that's different than every other team in the league. And Notre Dame goes, yeah, I know, we're different than every other team in the league. What would you say to that?
I would drop the phone first. Try to catch it because I don't want them to hurt their ears. I'm not hanging up the phone. It would fall out of my hands.
So you wouldn't hit the mute button and scream some sort of expletive, good or bad.
But what I wonder is what we've talked about. How long, if you do this, how long does it then take Ohio State, USC, and Michigan to say, okay, Northwestern's not getting the same share we're getting?
Or Ohio State goes, well, hell, we get better ratings than Notre Dame. We'll make our own deal.
And I don't know if the Big Ten could do that deal with Notre Dame because of what would happen inside their own conference.
I don't either. Like, I don't think the rest of the conference would go along with it.
I don't either. For two reasons. One, what you described, and the other, what I talked about, is that then opens up the Pandora's box for
the 5 or 6 schools that say we're better than all the rest and we're going to get compensated accordingly, and we don't really care about the other 12. Suck it up. Deal with it. You're lucky to be in this conference. And you and I believe that day will come. We think it'll be in the 2030s. I do. I think it'll be a TV contract from now. Like the Big Ten contract goes, I think, till 2030 or 2031. I think that has a chance of happening at the end of the current Big Ten TV contract.
I think it has a chance. I'm more pessimistic that it happens on the next contract because the loyalty the Big Ten's shown to one another has been unprecedented, and I think they would stick with that.
And to me, greed wins out. Just like the Yankees putting, and I'm not being a jerk here when I say the Yankees said, yeah, I know, but $25 million a year, we're putting a patch on their sleeve. Ohio State's going to look around and go, really? I don't care about Purdue or Indiana. Okay, we're going to make this. I want double what we're making now. I want 2 shares, not 1. Don't care. We're Ohio State. Michigan's going to go, well, then I want it too.
And Penn State's going to follow right behind.
And then I think it's going to happen. Because
USC,
because they don't care about Northwestern, Purdue, and Indiana. They care that they're on their schedule for the wins, but they don't care. In fact, it would be better for them. I want to bury them more.
And that's what they used to do when it was unlimited scholarships. I mean, they leveled the playing field by leveling the scholarships and actually giving more teams a chance. This would eliminate more teams from having a chance.
So I'm just curious, if you're Tony Petitti and you're the Big Ten, and Notre Dame calls you and says, you can have us. We get to negotiate our little deal. And then they'll probably settle for less because they can have their cake and eat it too. You get Notre Dame, though. You do. You're finally
and you
the
get
conference.
them away from everybody else.
Yeah,
too.
and you ensure that. You ensure that. They're yours. You got them. Would you do it?
Kicking and screaming. I would not want to do it. Would not want to make that deal if I were the Big Ten.
I wouldn't do it because I think it would lead to a revolt. I do. I think Ohio State and Michigan would lose their minds.
Not to mention USC, the newest member of your conference, who's had a long-standing rivalry with Notre Dame. Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're gonna have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Life Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlifetransportation.com.
David Moulton for Napa, Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa filters.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn. Something for everyone. On 5th Avenue in Naples.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. I got to say, since I've never attended a Michigan State baseball game, the cursive state on the baseball uni is pretty sharp. That's all I got for you.
Okay.
I have not. I don't think I've ever had a cheese curd in my house. Not that I'm against a cheese curd, but that you got the, the fry and gravy with the added cheese curds for your. I've done fries and gravy.
By the way, yesterday, Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant fashion just went on a tirade on randoms on Twitter about why offense is more important than defense in basketball. And I found it very interesting.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the third and final hour of Miller and Moulton on this Thursday along the network in Lake City and surrounding areas, Tampa, St. Pete, Port Charlotte, and Venice. We're just halfway home in the 239. Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. You know, we've spent so much time today talking about uniforms, and we'll do more in a moment. But, all right, what's our poll question? What do we settle on in terms of today and or tomorrow is National French Fry Day. So, all right, lay it on us.
We went with McDonald's, which is it's the OG of French fries.
Okay.
We went with Five Guys because it's my vote, and
Right.
I'm the one that's going to do the poll question, so I at least will take one of the four.
No doubt.
Arby's Curly got a lot of love.
It did. It did. I was a little surprised.
And then for Felipe, probably shouldn't have put it on there. Checkers was getting a lot of affection.
A late run on the outside.
But Felipe and his Popeyes Cajun made the list so it can finish. We had to have somebody finish last.
Well, we don't know if it's going to finish last.
Well, it's because not many fast food places have quote-unquote Cajun fries.
Well,
Popeyes takes that step, and they deliver. Oh,
man, it's the only thing that's kept him involved in this show today is when we talk about the Popeyes Cajun fries. Otherwise, he's got his head in his hand. He's half asleep over there.
He went quote unquote.
He did.
I want everybody to.
Well,
not many people use quote unquote Cajun fries.
He did also let us know, until I started working over at the local Hearst television stations, the closest Popeyes to where I was 27 minutes away, and I would make that drive for the fries.
Very passionate.
Yes. So, in honor of Felipe, you got your Five Guys. He gets his Popeyes Cajun fries.
well, and of course, the chicken.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm hoping you didn't just go for the fries. I'm hoping you ordered the chicken and then said, while I'm here. But uniforms has been a topic. So is that at that Mark Miller, the David Moulton? I'll retweet it. Florida Sports
it's
Network.
At Florida Sports Network. It's at that Mark Miller. It will soon be at the David Moulton whenever you find the time to retweet it.
Sometime between now and my doctor's appointment's at 12:30. So, all right, been talking a lot about uniforms. The Yankees have desecrated the greatest uniform in North America. They're home and away. I mean, their away uniforms kind of dull, but the home uniform's so spectacular, and the franchise is the most successful one in North American sports history at this moment. I mean, the Canadians were number one for a long time. The Yankees in the 90s and what have you said, we'll take it from here. Thanks. But they have an advertising patch. Star with 2 R's, Star Insurance is paying $25 million a year. That's some serious coin. I mean, even for the Yankees, I mean, that's a struggling third baseman.
Boy.
I mean, so Josh Donaldson is on the left sleeve for the Yankees for the rest of this year, and then it'll probably be DJ LeMahieu going forward after that. So it's a good thing that Star. It makes the Yankees feel better about having to pay these guys that are old and underperforming. Shouldn't have traded or signed them, but anyway, it's Brian Cashman, most overrated executive in North American sports. But I digress. But there's another franchise in the last couple of days that's been pounding their chest about their uniforms. Have you noticed how proud the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are about bringing back for one game the creamsicle?
They are ecstatic about it. And it is amazing that they are ecstatic about bringing back the creamsicle right after Tom Brady retired. Because you and I were convinced.
We said it the minute he signed. He will never play a game of the creamsicle.
Ever.
That sucker's going away till he's done. Did Tom Brady retire?
Yep.
What's coming back?
The creamsicle. With more fanfare than you could ever believe.
They wet the whistle. 3 years, no creamsicle, and now apparently, at least according to the Bucs, people are jonesing for it. Week 6 against the Lions.
Lions are just getting everything. All the big opening day, the creamsicle jersey.
Well, I will say it's an old when the Bucs wore the creamsicle, they were in the NFC Central.
Right.
Which was hysterical when they got assigned to the NFC Central. You had the most perfect division: Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit, Tampa. Wait, what? Yep, 2 division games. The 4 of you could all bust to each other's games, and then Tampa Bay. So, but I will say they have gotten the old guard to do the promotional announcements. You're seeing Derek Brooks. I think you're even seeing Sapp. They have the guys who wore the creamsicle. They have sat down and agreed to do promotional video stuff for Bucs social media. Kind of like, damn right, we're bringing it back.
Let me just read you this quote from Brian Ford, who is the Bucs COO. Our fans have waited a decade to see our players back in these classic creamsicle jerseys. And we are excited to celebrate our rich legacy when we debut these one-of-a-kind uniforms on October 15th against the Detroit Lions. As we begin this new era of Buccaneers football,
that's one way to describe it.
We aim to honor those who have played a vital role in our club's journey while also appealing to the new great generation of fans who will drive our future success. As we begin this new era of Buccaneers football, in parentheses, it should say Tom Brady retired.
Right. Without
right
Brady.
There.
Yep. And by new era, we mean back to losing. Because you and I have a soft spot for the Bucs. We like the Bucs, but we did point out that before Brady went there, they had the worst winning percentage of all the active franchises in North American major sports. That was just a fact. That's not being biased against. That's just flat winning percentage, and you start at the top and you go all the way down at the bottom and you go, holy blank, worse than the Sacramento Kings, the Kansas City / Sacramento Kings, worse than the Buffalo Braves / San Diego / Los Angeles Clippers. Wow.
Even after, as it points out here, it says the old uniforms were synonymous with the Buccaneers losing football, and it says in parentheses, even after winning 2 Super Bowls and 8 division titles, they still have the second most losses of any team in the NFL from 76 to 2023, behind only the Detroit Lions, who they'll play when they wear the creamsicle jerseys.
I wonder if the Browns, by being out of business for 3 years, whether or not that although Cleveland had a great decade in the 80s.
No way.
So, okay. I have to admit, though, just the 21st century has not been that good. 70s, mid-70s weren't that good. And the 21st century has been rough. But, yeah, they're okay. Because the 80s were really good. Belichick had the 1 year in 94 where they won 11 games and won a playoff game. So, yeah, okay. So how about that? 2 most unsuccessful franchises in the last nearly 50 years. So let's go. I say you invite Barry Sanders to the game. Might as well have him bring him out for the ceremonial cone toss. Okay, Derek Brooks on one side, Barry Sanders on another.
Both fan bases can reminisce about when they played for them.
Right. So I'm curious whether or not Bucs fans are jonesing for the creamsicle. You had Bucs season tickets for 2 of Brady's 3 years. Okay. How many creamsicle jerseys did you see?
A handful. I mean, you see them. More jerseys than jerseys. But, yeah, you see the creamsicle there.
You know what would interest me is who it is that you're wearing. Like, how far back are you going? You going all the way back? You going Leroy Selman, Doug Williams, Jimmy Giles? How far back we going here? Or are you going Sapp, Brooks, Lynch, Allstott?
Somehow I just see Allstott. That would be the one that would be the creamsicle I'd go with.
So I was watching NFL Network last week. It's during the 4th of July vacation. You know me. I do a lot.
Right.
I'm very busy.
NFL Network.
Right. I think it was on July 4th, actually. And they're doing, those football lives. And one was John Lynch, and I hadn't seen it. So I'm watching it. Lynch tells a story. Question was something about how physical he was. He goes, we had Allstott. And, he doesn't back down. And I don't back down. And apparently there was a collision at practice, and they got like 3 other people to talk about the collision. Absolute full steam, both of them. Boom! Tony Dungy goes, "That's it! Never again!" So apparently in future practices, Lynch and Allstott were like wearing the quarterback jerseys.
Wow.
Or they put Allstott on, they're like, no, you guys can't do that again. No. Cannot have hitting that hard in practice anymore. No. John, you're not allowed to hit Mike. Mike, you're not allowed to run over John. If we blow the whistle, the play's dead.
When Baker throws 4 picks in the creamsicle jersey, do they retire the creamsicle jersey?
What if they lose to the Lions? I mean, will the future of the creamsicle jersey depend on the result of that game? And I mean, Lions Bucks. This is NFC Central.
Or as Berman would say, the NFC Norris.
Right. The black and blue division.
I think the jerseys go super hard, by the way. And I love the old school logo, too. Like, it is awesome. And the fact that the face mask itself is cream.
I will say this. I never loved the creamsicle jersey, but I hated the Bucks redesign jersey. And red's my favorite color, but I hated the pewter. Hated it. I know.
The Pirates in the pewter pants?
I didn't like it. I did not like it.
I like the Bucks jerseys now.
Okay. Like, it pains
I think
me
they look good.
It pains me to no end that the Atlanta Falcons have gotten rid of all the red in their uniforms. And they're going basically all black. It's like, you got to be kidding me. You're the Falcons. You were red. But no, I did not like the pewter redesign. And I know they won their 2 Super Bowls in it and what have you. So it made me more fond of the creamsicles because I hated the pewter so much.
But you preferred the Jameis Winston era uniforms? Because remember, they changed.
Yeah, I have to admit the Bucs uniforms have never done it for me, although I did like when you mentioned the original helmet design for the Bucs. I didn't like the color it was in, but I liked the helmet design. To me, but then again, I love the older helmets. I love the Oilers. See, I love the old Patriots
You love
helmets.
the old Patriots helmet, which I can't stand.
See, I love the old Patriots uniforms.
And
hated what Kraft did to them. Hated
most of the Patriot fans that I know are with you, by the way.
They
like the old logo.
The Minuteman there, snapping the ball. Yeah. So anyway, the creamsicle's coming back to life. We'll see whether or not it catches on.
Only if they win.
I'm with you.
Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
David Moulton for Napa, Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. Bucks fan just sending him one picture after another of his Bucks jerseys. He's already bought a Brady creamsicle.
Well, we pointed out the other day, 8th best-selling jersey in June, Tom Brady. By the way, the best football player in the Big 12 may be at Kansas.
Really?
Yeah, the quarterback, Jalen Daniels.
And they're not supposed to be that good this year.
No. They won 6 games last year. They went to a bowl last year.
No, I know. They're supposed to, I mean, I thought they were picked like 6th, 7th by. Yeah, he's got him picked 9th.
You got anything? I got something.
I got that quarterback thing we could go to at any point.
Okay.
I know you didn't watch, but Felipe
Yeah.
and I can do that.
Good. Let me do this because this is a shorter segment,
Yep.
I think, than that one.
MLB on Fox, their Instagram, they said midseason awards. In the NL, they did Acuna, Freeman, Mookie, and Corbin for the 4 MVP finalists. And then AL, they did Ohtani, and Ohtani.
This is the official MLB site?
No, MLB on Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but DC, the Bucks, like Lynch, played games in the creamsicle, and I believe, Sapp and Brooks were in the 95 draft, and that was still Sam Weish. It was Dungy, who I think did 1 year in the creamsicle, and then they changed the uniforms in 97, I think, to the pewter. So, Brooks and Sapp played in it also, in the creamsicle also. DC saying it should have been the Packers, should have been the Bay of Pigs. That Berman would.
Yeah.
That's when Green Bay was bad. Remember that?
I do.
It's only over 30 years ago.
I watched a little bit of the All-Star game, the MLB All-Star game. You know what I said to myself? I kind of miss Joe Buck. Joe Davis is great, though. He's amazing. But Buck on MLB games, classic.
It's funny. Joe's gotten that a lot traveling around the country.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Magic numbers are 44, 49, and 56 to week 0. Week 1 of the college football season's 44 and 49 days away. And 8 weeks tonight. 56 days away, Lions and Chiefs to kick off the NFL season. Training camps get underway next week. Our poll question has to do with French fries. Apparently today, in most places, but in some places it's tomorrow, is National French Fry Day. So we took your input for 2 hours, and then based on your input, we posted, well, most of your input. I mean, Mark got a vote. Felipe got a vote. Mark's vote, I think, would have made the list anyway. Felipe's vote's the outlier. All right. McDonald's, obviously, can't have a French fry thing without McDonald's. Five Guys. Felipe's vote is Popeye's Cajun.
Right now getting 5% of the vote.
And to our surprise, the Arby's curly fry got a lot of votes. So we put it on the list.
Any chance you hit an Arby's drive-thru today to try some fries?
Well, I will say where my doctor's appointment is about 7 minutes away from an Arby's. In fact, of the places that are on the list, Five Guys is technically about a minute closer on the way back to the hotel. But if I just make a different turn, I could go to the Arby's.
So my daughter, because we didn't do a lot, she hated her summer camp last summer and didn't want to go back. Said it was boring. So spending time with dad is less boring, apparently.
All right. Good to see you're still making the cut.
Right. And so she comes in. My wife drops her off. When she leaves for work, she drops her off here, and my daughter sits basically where you are.
I know.
And reads for a while, does her tablet for a while, and is very, very calm.
You're a drill sergeant. Did you do your reading? Okay. Have you studied your Spanish?
So she wanted to come in this morning to see you because the wife's got today off. So, but I don't know where the affection my daughter has for you came from, but she apparently really wanted to see Moulton this morning.
Wow. That makes me feel good.
Well, I'm glad.
Of course, she's not here, so can't be that much affection.
But we came home last night, and my daughter's the one telling my wife that you're going to be in town.
Right.
And my wife starts grilling me.
What?
Of, where's he staying? What's he doing? Is he coming over for dinner? What? I'm like, I don't know. I found out he was coming to town after the show yesterday.
That's not true. I told you just blocked it out. You've known for a while.
I went on vacation. You told me before vacation. There's no way I was remembering.
Well,
I knew you were coming for a Thursday, Friday, but I didn't know when.
Well, also, and you don't want to say this to your wife because you'll catch grief. You want to look right at her and go, honey, I love him, but I don't care. I don't care. We see each other. I see him more a week than I see you. I don't need to see any more of him.
She was really bothered by the fact that I paid zero attention to you coming to town. So I hope you don't care that I didn't pay any attention to you coming to town.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Do you want to come to dinner tonight? I guess is what, because now.
No.
Good.
No. I've made plans. Okay. My wife said to me, you and Mark doing anything? I go, what do you mean are we doing anything? We do 20 hours of radio a week. What do you mean do something? Hell no. When we lived 10 minutes away from one another, how many times did we do something?
Well, and that's where my wife said, is his wife coming to town? Are we going to see her too? No.
Oh, did you look right at her and go, he's in town for a cancer screening? You know, hello? You know, this is not happy, joy here.
Well, it's pretty happy because it's going to be negative. It's a lot happier than it was a few years ago.
I'll let you know a week from now if it's happy, joy. Right. Today I have to fast and I got to drink 2 big bottles of barium. And you guys tried to, emphasize the berry part of it. All I can think of is all I can think of is the part of it. Like rectum, barium. Okay. To me, it sounds awful. Here, have this bottle of barium. And by the way, you got 45 minutes to drink it. It sucks. And then you got to drink another one. Oh, that's great. So that's why I'm glad we're talking about French fries all day. That's what I'm going to be thinking about while drinking the barium. And when this is done, I am having a clogged artery somewhere.
Well, we're trying to clog yours with our poll question. 5 guys winning right now. McDonald's, based on
reputation.
And reputation only, is in second. Arby's Curly in third. And Popeye's Cajun shouldn't have been on the poll.
So we'll see. I will say, though, Felipe, I voted 5 guys, but I am going to hit Popeye's Cajun because of you. I want to see. I do.
It's good stuff.
Because that's what you've said, and I will hold you to it. So we talked about this. You and I like Greg Norman. He's been very good to us over the years. It's another reason why we kept an open mind about LIV, because of our affection to Greg. He's been very good to us over the years.
Great to us. And there are a lot of people that don't like him. There are a lot of people inside the industry that don't like him, and he's not been great to everyone. But to the two of us, he's been tremendous for over a decade.
Right. Twice a year, he's made time for us. He literally has said to his people, hey, make sure I talk to my guys in Fort Myers. Great. How could we not be then kind in return to Greg Norman? But we've talked about a lot of things with him also. We've gotten off the beaten path. We've talked politics. We've talked gambling in golf. We did this 10 years ago. We had a long conversation on the air with Greg about gambling in golf. Did you see what the LIV announced yesterday?
I did not.
They announced an agreement with Simple Bet, a leader in micro betting products. It's their official sports betting innovation partner. They're describing it as this is betting on steroids. So you're not just betting at any point in time during the tournament about so-and-so to win. You're betting on, is Cam Smith going to hit the fairway on number 12? And then when he knocks it to 7 feet, you get to bet, is he going to make the putt? Now, we have talked about this. We thought this is where the PGA Tour could go. The problem is so much of their golf is actually live on tape. If the person at home understood the percentage of shots that they're seeing that have already happened, well, you can't then have this on the PGA Tour, because what you're seeing from CBS and NBC is not live. Now, sometimes it's only 15 seconds delayed. Like the shot literally just happened. They taped it, they roll it back, they cue it up, and they go.
But think about it. Guys think about, for all of you that play golf, this is pretty simple. It's basically set up so that we're hitting shots
right
at the same time. We're all approaching the green. I'm approaching the 15th green. David's approaching the 16th green. That's the way it works.
Now, I worked behind the scenes on one LIV tournament and their production, and they show their golf is almost all live. The director used to direct the golf at Fox, and Fox showed well over 90% of their coverage was live. They didn't put a lot of shots on tape. And so, now I know nobody's watching the LIV on a CW. They're drawing like less than 50,000 eyeballs. Nobody's watching it, but it is live. And so here they are. They're going to do it. Their next tournament, by the way, is in 3 weeks. It's at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. One thing that I am wondering with this new alliance because for 2024, we're still going to have LIV. Can LIV get out of their TV deal? And if we're going to have an alliance, okay, can the LIV actually get on a network that people know about and may watch?
Like the Golf Channel.
Or FS1. Fox thought about it long and hard about doing a deal with LIV and backed off. Well, if you guys are going to be in bed together financially, then, we're not these bad people if we show it, right? And we don't have golf. So I'm curious, 3 weeks from now, apparently the LIV is going to try what you and I have talked about, that this is the sport in which you could bet like crazy for hours.
Just like you do when you play the game. See if it works. But the key is, like you said, how much live golf can you show? And that's what Live Golf is doing. Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Miller and Moulton here for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
Mark, remember Nick Charles, Fred Hickman, the CNN Play of the Day?
Yeah, CNN did a nightly sports show. That was a while ago.
Yes, it was. Just work with me. Everyone liked the pod, the Play of the Day. So how about we have the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day?
Sounds good. Fun. Smooth. Like Clutch Vodka.
Listen weekday mornings for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
That's Clutch with a K.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're gonna have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. Hey. Good. Look at this headline.
Do we know what is
They did well.
B103?
Well, really well. They beat us.
Well, that's good for them. Huh.
I mean, that was one of the stations that was ahead of us.
Okay.
2 Spanish. It was
2 Spanish.
Well, we were 6th. We were 4th
Okay.
English speaking.
Well, still. I mean, one of them had to be Drew Steele, right? 92.
No, we kicked his ass.
Oh, my God.
We actually were tied with him, but our cum was way higher.
Oh, my God. That's awful for him.
It was B, Fly.
Oh, wow.
Fly's killing it. Killing it. They put that
Is it Fly Schwartzel? Is it?
Charlemagne the Kid, or what is
That's
it?
Schwartzel, right?
Right. Is it, who am I?
Yeah.
Who's the morning show on Fly? Is it Charlemagne?
Charlemagne the God?
Yeah, Charlemagne the God. That's what I'm thinking of. That's Fly's morning show, and it's killing it.
That's Schwartzel, right?
Yeah. And did I give you those ratings? You gave them back to me, didn't you?
I did give them back to you.
I think I threw them away.
Was it country? We were behind a country, weren't we?
I think so.
Was it Gator? Probably. Yeah. TB Gator Boy.
Gator Country, B, and Fly.
Well, the only one that is surprising a little bit is B, but good for them.
Yeah. So Gator, B, Fly. I'm sorry. I guess we were 5th, and JGO, Bob.
Yeah, in town. Got to go for my 6-month cancer screening. Going to stay in town overnight and be in town tomorrow. Do the show here tomorrow also.
But WWCN is the number 2 station.
In what, Cume?
No, whatever. The 99.3. In number 2 in the market, men 25-54. Not in Cume. In the average quarter, there's
What's 770 then?
It's 93. They change. That's 99.3.
What's on 99.3 now?
Spanish.
Ah, gotcha.
Spanish stations are 1 and 2. You just throw them out. Literally on the Mexican regional.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Our final segment along the network in Lake City and surrounding areas. Tampa, St. Pete, Port Charlotte, and Venice. The bonus hour awaits in the 239 at the top of the hour here at Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Mark, I do want to get you up to date on what's going on in the Scottish Open.
Well, Rory shot 64. I do know that.
Yeah, that's pretty good, by the way. I mean, just so you know, it's pretty good. Makes him either in the lead or tied for the lead. So there.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, so you're up to date. Wimbledon starting here. Well, now, actually, the first women's semifinal. There's no Americans left in the tournament. Djokovic and Alcaraz not playing each other, but they're playing tomorrow in the men's semis and expected to meet in the final.
And no real names on the women's side.
Well, you know, the
one
top seed got knocked out. And there's, I think it's 2 seed against 6 seed in the other semifinal. This semifinal going on right now, this is the one that the American Pegula should have been in because both these players are unseeded, even though Svitolina is actually a really good player, but she took time off to have a child. And she's 9 months removed from giving birth, and here she is in the semis of Wimbledon. And Pegula was up 4-1 in the third and choked.
Blew it.
Yeah, and would have made her first major semifinal, and she's 29 years old. You wonder, you know, I know the Williams sisters played into their 40s and all, but, you know, 29 for a woman is old in tennis. So, you know, you wonder how many more chances that she's going to have to win a major, quite frankly, considering she's never made a semi.
So we all love the 30 for 30s. Netflix has done a hell of a job with the F1 Drive to Survive. That led into the golf documentary that's now led into quarterback. Launched yesterday on Netflix. Goes behind the scenes of 3 quarterbacks.
Okay.
From last year. Mariota.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
That's interesting right from the get-go because we already know how this ends.
because he got demoted and for a day or two quit.
Correct.
Huh.
Kirk Cousins.
Well, I mean, they did have a 13-4 regular season. He staged like 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. For a guy who sucks, I mean, it's pretty good.
And Patrick Mahomes.
And I say for a guy who sucks because that's what most NFL fans think of him.
Well, and particularly those in Minnesota.
Oh, my goodness. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. They'd rather have 63-year-old Tommy Kramer's quarterback in the team.
Now, I know you didn't watch yesterday. You were traveling.
Right.
Does this show interest you at all?
The Mahomes stuff, believe it or not, doesn't. I mean, he's great. I don't know what I'll learn. Apparently, there's some great audio during game action. One of them's a game we did on Monday Night Football, the Raiders game, and the Raiders got up 17-0. So I would find that entertaining, but
I think you would. I do think you would. The audio is great. The audio of Mahomes was fascinating when he gets back to his family and they're talking about, he'd rather, he says flat out, we match up better against the Bills, but I want to play the Bengals because they've been talking more. I mean, some of the insight to the bravado that he has and has to have. It's done by Manning's Omaha Productions Company.
Okay.
So the access is fantastic. I watched the first episode. Felipe, how many did you watch?
I also just watched the first
You just
episode.
watched one.
They're 55 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's in depth. It's great.
It's in depth. It's great. Tell me, because I didn't find it to be as in depth as you did. What was it in depth that you learned about one of the quarterbacks that you didn't know yesterday? I learned a ton about their wives and girlfriends. They showed them a lot and interviewed them a lot.
Well, I feel like that's all set up, though. I mean, it's episode 1. They're talking week 1, week 2, week 3. Which, by the way, every episode is out already. It's an 8-episode show. You can binge it right now. I'm going to do that as soon as I get out of here. But I feel like as the episodes go along, they'll just go deeper into the season and further away from the wives.
And they may. Again, I'm going to ask you the same question I just asked you because you didn't answer the question I asked you.
What did I learn?
Good at this. What in depth did you learn about any of these 3 quarterbacks?
How Kirk Cousins carries himself as a quarterback. Not really as a person, because we already know how he does carry himself as a person because he's a very boring guy. And he mentions that in the show, and then it immediately cuts to, because he says that every time he does something cool, it's like a meme because he's not cool. And then it cuts to you like that. And then they kind of briefly go back to the you like that era of Kirk Cousins. And I loved it.
Now, I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I'm easily entertained. And I didn't think it was entertaining enough for me to watch more of it. I'm not going to give up on it after 1 because I do love any time you've got players mic'd up.
Yeah.
And you're getting into Crosby and Mahomes. I mean, barking at one another in that Monday night game when they're helmet to helmet, and you're hearing what they said.
It is the one thing that I wonder, will we ever get to that with our live NFL game coverage? Because right now, let's face it, the networks don't have to do anything further to get us to watch. Ratings are tremendous. If you're the NFL, you don't have to allow any more access, but you can. I mean, you could.
Might get a few players fined a little more.
No, there might, but the agreement is that none of it gets aired during the broadcast. Okay, this is all stuff that's either going to be NFL films aired later, it's going to be the team videos at the end of the season, or they'll release it on their social media during the week and what have you. I'm wondering if and or when we get to the point that Fox, CBS, ABC, NBC can re-air this stuff during the game. I don't think we'll ever get it live, like, the USFL and XFL, in which you're actually in the huddle and they're barking out the play. That will never happen with the NFL. You will never hear that. We can't even get them to do the replays live. Like the spring football leagues, we see Dean Blandino and what have you. We see it live. They're showing the video, going through it, discussing. I've advocated for the NFL to do that. I think it would really benefit the league.
Hey, I was impressed that they had some practice footage of Cousins in which he's talking to one of his coaches about dress rehearsals. We're going to walk through all these plays and get used to me doing the halo versus the sombrero, that, you know, what the signals are. I thought that in and of itself, in a league that is so close-lipped and doesn't want anybody to see what goes on at a practice, for them to give us a little insight.
Because in theory, those same signals this year are the same as last year.
Thank you.
Right.
Like that, I watched that and went, ooh.
Now, I will say, for all the video that the teams watch, they probably know what the signals are by now, but still. I mean, certainly Belichick and the Patriots do. Hello! Come on, that's funny.
Hello?
That's funny. I love Belichick.
I do like Mahomes more after watching it.
Okay.
I mean, I get he's a competitor and he's great, all that. He talks a lot of smack.
Does he?
He really talks a lot of smack.
Is it Larry Bird smack, or is it just he talks a lot?
It's nothing's Larry Bird smack.
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's not.
Let's just stop.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
Because Larry Bird talks. Patrick Mahomes yells, you know?
Gotcha.
Like, I'm him. I'm that guy. Larry Bird.
But I love it. I mean, that game against the Raiders that you did.
Yeah,
when he and Crosby get at one another and he scored. I'm here all night. I mean, and then after the game, they show, the first thing they show is him walking up to Crosby after the game going, I love you, bro, you know. And it was just the fiery competitiveness in the moment was great. And then how they can let it all fall off that quickly after is also equally impressive. But there was, I'll watch the show. I love these documentaries. But I didn't think there was anything in depth yet that they gave us.
Now, to me, the most interesting storyline is Mariota.
It's going to be.
I mean, think about it. He signed with Atlanta, and this was his last chance to be a starter. But it was a golden opportunity. I mean, they drafted,
Ritter in the third round.
Right. And so this is his job until he screws it up. And he screwed it up. And they were actually, remember, the South was terrible last year. The Falcons were in contention down the stretch if they had taken care of business, and they still benched Mariota.
Well, and they show where it all starts. Game against the Saints, and they show him fumbling that snap on the 3rd and 1. They don't get the conversion.
Yeah.
End up losing that game. And
so here's a guy drafted 2nd overall 8 years earlier. And now he's losing his career right before our eyes. And then he quit. Now he came back, but he did quit. I mean, he left. He was done. He was that upset at being benched that he quit. You don't quit on a team, man.
No. And you don't recover from quitting on a team.
And as a quarterback, too. So that would fascinate me. How much access do they have behind it? You know, I'm guessing Mariota, once he gets benched and what have you, didn't talk. We'll find out. But I'm wondering then, will the Falcons talk?
From the looks of it, it seems that they will. And there's 8 episodes, like Felipe said. I just watched one. I'll bang through a couple more here. I'll have this sucker done by Sunday.
I mean, it's not like there's anything else on.
Well, it's just what other shows I'm watching. It's just a matter of, do I get the free time in front of the television? Because last night, not only was the daughter reading more, the wife was reading. I am sitting there on the couch. I've got both of them reading books, and I'm wanting to watch a television show, and they're looking at me. My wife looked at me and goes, get a book.
Ooh.
Why? Why?
Well, the show I was watching had a lot of F-bombs on it, and I couldn't really throw it on. Right when I see that TVMA and the 9-year-old sitting there.
You got to go upstairs.
I'm kind of.
That's when you say, you know what? I need to go up in my office and do some work.
So,
there is a developing story this morning. Yesterday we had the developing story at this time. ESPN.com released a rather lengthy 2-year investigation into all the happening behind the scenes about Dan Snyder, John Gruden, and those emails, and who leaked them and who's covering up. And it's fascinating reading. I mean, it was fun. And we wonder, will it lead to issues for Commissioner Goodell going forward? Because there are at least 4 NFL owners who are convinced that Goodell was one of those leaking stuff. And you can't have that from your commissioner. I mean, come on. You don't have to like your commissioner. You got to be able to trust him. And if you think that he could turn on you one day and leak stuff about you, I mean, do we think there are other owners with skeletons? So, remember, Daniel Snyder's on his way out. I mean,
right,
this
next
is,
week, right?
Yeah, right. 22nd or something like that. I mean, so Josh Harris, the guy who owns the Sixers and, the Devils and what have you, right? He's taken over. Apparently, there's a report this morning. There are issues in the legal negotiations between the NFL and representatives for Daniel Snyder, complicating the $6.05 billion sale of the Commanders. The source says Daniel Snyder is no longer willing to sign an affidavit that he did not leak the emails that led to Gruden's resignation, after previously being willing to do so. Very interesting. By the way, if I had $6 billion waiting for me, I'd lie. And you know me, I am a very truthful person, and it has hurt me a lot. It has hurt my career. It has hurt my life, how truthful I have been. If I had $6 billion waiting for me, I'd be like, yeah, just give me the affidavit. Sure. Well,
where do you want me to sign?
Yeah, what are they going to do? Yeah, yes, I know. I'm what I'm signing is a lie. It's $6 billion, right? That's with a B. Give me the affidavit. I would, because the other thing I'd say, well, how much trouble am I going to get in? What are they going to do? They're going to fine me? I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but
once I accept the $6 billion from you, aren't I done with you?
I mean, am I really going to do jail time over this? And by the way, if so, I don't think it'll be that long, and I'll have a country waiting for me to go to when I get released. Because I can buy one. I can forget an island. I can buy a country. Give me the paper. Yeah, I'm signing it. Is all that stands in the way? Sure. Big D, the M, the line. I use.
Well, it's a lot of scribbles when you're that important anyhow.
Well, but I'd actually make it legible. I don't know. Oh, wow. That really was his signature. He lied. Yes, I did. Did you know you were lying? Yes, sir.
We're done.
Absolutely. Why July? $6 billion. Are you serious? Why did I lie? Hell. I'll admit to the Kennedy assassination. I mean, give me the paper. I wasn't even born yet.
But they think that this could slow down the sale, not stop it. But it could slow it down, and this is supposed to happen next week at the league meetings. Miller and Moulton, thanks so much for listening. The bonus hour in the 239 is next. Miller and Moulton here for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
Mark, remember Nick Charles, Fred Hickman, the CNN Play of the Day?
Yeah, CNN did a nightly sports show. That was a while ago.
Yes, it was. Just work with me. Everyone liked the pod, the Play of the Day. So how about we have the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day?
Sounds good. Fun. Smooth. Like Clutch Vodka.
Listen weekday mornings for the Clutch Vodka Play of the Day.
That's Clutch with a K.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill, the Bayfront Inn. Something for everyone. On 5th Avenue in Naples.
David Moulton for Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
I have to admit, for a for nothing show, that was moderately entertaining.
Yeah, really. We were not on iHeart this morning.
I set everything up.
I know, but the iHeart's not that one. Do you have the Charlotte station's email?
Yeah.
Can you email them and make sure that we're still running?
I will.
Just say we had some questions from people, some issues from people listening. Is there any problems?
Yeah. I'll call.
CC me on it too, please.
I have a phone number. I can
just call him.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to send it to Marty.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, he at least should be made aware.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he cares.
Well, apparently Zito texted me when I was on vacation that the Charlotte people emailed the Tampa people last week, and he wanted Marty's phone number, which I shared with him. I didn't think much of it because I never heard anything else about it.
Right.
Before you went into the whole Goodell thing, I was going to say, who do you think next year's 3 quarterbacks or this season's 3 quarterbacks should be for the show?
Well, first you got to get them to agree to the access.
That is true. That's true.
I would honestly, if I were to go for one this year, Matt Stafford would be interesting coming off the interesting.
Yes.
I would want Tua.
I was going to say Stafford, Tua, and Baker.
Baker would be interesting.
Yeah, that's a trio right there. Stafford, Tua, and Baker.
Would fit the criteria too.
Absolutely.
Man, I know Stafford isn't in Mahomes' category,
Right.
but he did win a Super Bowl.
Unless a Burrow or an Allen wants to do it because Mahomes did.
Right. In that case, just go full Joe Burrow.
Can't believe you're not doing the Monday night game in Cincinnati.
No, we're in.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the bonus hour, Miller and Moulton on this Thursday. Thanks so much for being with us. So we've been kicking around a few things. I mean, it's that time of year. I mean, there's virtually nothing going on in the sports world this week. There's Wimbledon still going on. The Scottish Open got underway this morning. There was some Gold Cup soccer. The U.S. got beat in penalty kicks by Panama. It was, for the most part, the backup U.S. team that got beat in the semis.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I think it does. I mean, if our...
To Panama?
Well, I mean, I think it was Panama's A team.
And
was mostly our B team. And this isn't a major... we don't consider this, a super important competition. I mean, it's kind of...
Shouldn't we consider all competitions important competitions until we start winning things regularly?
I agree. This is something we win regularly, though. It's why maybe they don't take it as seriously as they should. Also, I think the time of the year is why we field the team that we do. But yeah, okay, we got beat. Sure. It's the first time I think we've lost in a long time since the World Cup, I think. I don't know if the U.S. men's national team has lost since the World Cup. So I know it was this interim coach's first loss. I know that. He tried to take the blame. He said, I put the wrong lineup and the wrong formations and everything out there in the first half. We were terrible, and I was the reason why. Well, okay, that's cool. I mean, I like it when coaches legitimately take the blame, not fall on the sword for their players, in which you're like, come on, you're just trying to cover for them. They sucked. It's their fault. Don't take the heat here. Come on. Let us bang on the players a little bit. They deserve it. But no, he said, I screwed up. Wrong strategy. Oh, okay. But anyway, the point was there's not much going on.
No, there's not.
So we've been, kicking around a few things. First off, and today and or tomorrow, depending on where you look, it's National French Fry Day. So that was the focus of our poll question. All right. Which fries are the best? McDonald's, Five Guys, Arby's, Curly, and in honor of Felipe, he gets up at 4:30 in the morning. I mean, occasionally you got to throw him a bone because goodness knows we're not paying him anything. All right. So, he gets to select Popeye's Cajun fries.
And so far, voting not great. I mean, we don't our poll because we do not do poll questions regularly. We
Correct.
don't get the votes that we should get on these.
Right.
But just to let you know right now, Felipe, have you voted?
Oh yeah, I think I'm the only person that
You are
voted.
the only person who has voted for Popeye's Cajun. Through 30 votes, they are getting 3.3% of the vote.
Just shows me how many people are sleeping. That's all.
So anyway, so that's our poll question. All right. In honor of National French Fry Day, which in most places it is. Certainly in many of the fast food places, they're having some sort of fries discount today. But we've also been talking about uniforms. The Bucs making a big play this week that they're bringing the creamsicles back. But also the Yankees sold an insurance patch, Star with 2 R's insurance, on the left sleeve of their jerseys. You'll see it tomorrow. Star Insurance. Yes, the Yankee pinstripe jersey. The greatest jersey in North American sports. The home one anyway. And they're home and away. $25 million a year. $25 million a year.
They got a Josh Donaldson on their arm.
Right. If you said that in the meeting, I think Star Insurance would go, we should reconsider this. Really? Is that it? We're Josh Donaldson? He sucks. So your thoughts on whether or not the Yankees made a big mistake here? It's 4% of their revenue. They just increased the revenue by 4%. by selling a patch on their jersey.
What would it take to get you to sell a patch on your jersey?
Right.
4% of your annual revenue. I mean, I wouldn't do it for 4%. I need a lot more to wear someone's patch on my sleeve.
Well, we were asked in the Twitch chat room, how much it would cost for Miller and Moulton to wear a patch on our shirts. I have a pretty good idea of what Miller and Moulton make. So 4%, huh? Let's see.
Not going to get it done, David.
Over $200 billion.
Well, you know what? For that, sir, I'd do it. I really would. Well done, Felipe. Well done. We don't have a lot of dynamite drop-ins on this show, but that one really worked. So, but we also brought up a story earlier about the 7 NIL collectives that joined forces into the Collective Association. And it's collectives from Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida State, USC, Michigan, and Penn State, in which they're doing this on behalf of the athletes, in which they're like, listen, follow our guidelines. A, you can make more money. B, you'll never be considered an employee going forward. Now, we could debate whether or not the college athlete actually should want to be considered an employee, and if that ever happens, what that will do to college athletics, and athletic departments. It'll be a mess. But so this collective association is interesting. Did you see what's going on in Iowa? They have a collective, a beer.
Okay.
In which if you buy the beer, 20% of the proceeds go into a collective for Iowa athletics. And it's like a local microbrew. And they've already killing it. And they haven't even advertised it. It's just like word of mouth in June. Not even taking into account July 4th sales, certainly not taking into account football season.
That is genius.
It really is.
So
it really is, not to mention the whole fallout with the Bud Light thing, and that no one will, I mean, you could put a cooler of Bud Light and say free beer and people won't drink it.
So think about the advertising. Buy, and I had the story in front of me and I lost it. I apologize. Buy, Miller and Moulton beer and support Iowa athletics. Now, you obviously have a healthy percentage of the state that's Iowa State fans, and they would go, I ain't never buying that beer. Hell with the Hawkeyes. But Iowa's the dominant school in the state. I could argue that it's the dominant team in the state, that I don't think there's a pro sports team that is bigger in the state of Iowa. And I know the Cubs are big and there are other teams that are big, but I would argue the University of Iowa is the biggest thing in sports in that state.
So it's the Swarm Collective. That's Iowa's collective. The beer, Swarm joined forces with Exile Brewing Company of Des Moines.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have Swarm Golden Ale.
Okay. And 20% of the proceeds go. So buy Swarm beer and support Iowa athletics. Well,
sales of Swarm Golden Ale netted $30,000 for the collective in June alone.
Right. And this is a very small beer. So they sold $150,000 worth of beer in. And by the way, this beer is yet to get into restaurants. I mean, this is a small beer. They haven't even started marketing. And they're planning a big rollout here before football season where they're going to get in restaurants in the state. And it's going to be easier to get a hold of it.
You know what a tailgate's going to look like in Iowa City?
It's going to be
if you don't have Swarm beer. No, I'm serious.
What are you doing?
I mean, Swarm may have to start a Swarm Light.
How brilliant is this, though?
It's amazing.
And obviously, it's year-round. This just in, if you're drinking beer in the fall, there's a good chance you're drinking it in the winter and the spring and the summer. And the whole time you're buying whatever, 20% of it, is going to Iowa athletes. You're buying players. Hey, the Iowa asks for money in the mail. You go, I'm already given.
Well, here, if you're Iowa, now we're selling beer at games. What beer are you going to sell?
May only allow.
You're damn right.
May have to say to Anheuser-Busch, sorry. May have to say to Miller and Coors, sorry, we're only selling one beer. Why? Yeah, we get a 20% kickback. You going to give us 20% back? Isn't this?
I love this.
Yeah. Apparently, by the way, the beer's pretty good.
Who cares?
No. I do think, I mean, come on.
We're not trying to sell them Black Label for crying out loud.
I mean, listen, we all drank terrible beer in college, but now we're assuming now we're an adult. We're tailgating. We're putting a 6-pack in the fridge at home during the week, that sort of deal. I mean, come on. You don't want to drink a bad beer, even if it does support your favorite team. I mean, at some point you go, I can't drink this anymore. Can you give me the good stuff? And if it's a bad beer, anything is the good stuff. So, I mean, I think it's got to just be decent.
Fair enough.
Apparently, it meets the criteria.
It meets the criteria of decent.
It's a pretty good beer. Damn. I mean, is Iowa... I mean, granted, it's going to, life expectancy in Iowa is going to go down by a few years, but the Hawkeyes athletic program.
I don't know. Life expectancy could go up because they're so much happier that this is going to offset how the football team will finally win or get to a Big Ten championship game and win one.
And I got to be honest, if you're watching Kirk Ferentz's offense, you need to drink
more than beer.
We can start there.
So, yes, Swarm Ale. 20% of it. Now, you're at Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Wisconsin fan. You're traveling to Des Moines for business.
Not drinking Swarm.
Can't be drinking Swarm.
Nope. Get that out of here. Is there a local beer, Southwest Florida? Wants to support FGCU?
I don't think any of our local breweries do enough volume, but the close one is Palm City Brewery, which is right off of Alico Road.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 3 miles from the college. And they have wanted to have a very close relationship. They employ a lot of FGCU people, actually. I believe the people who own it went to FGCU. They want a close relationship. I think one of the owners is. I'm wondering. Put it this way. Do you think it would increase your sales enough to make up for the amount that you're donating?
Absolutely. Dunk City Light?
Or what? Hell, they named their beer Swarm. I mean, you don't even have to come up with a good name.
Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
David Moulton for Napa Auto Parts, and Napa Filters. Insist on Napa Filters for your vehicles, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves, whether it's motorcycles, foreign and domestic cars, vans, SUVs, earth-moving equipment. You get the idea. Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters. Insist on them for your vehicles, or if you're do-it-yourselfer, only buy Napa Filters.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn. Something for everyone. On 5th Avenue in Naples.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. e-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Jacksonville's kind of nice though, and it's like 15 minutes from their house. They are there all the time. They're there at least once a week, if not twice. 18-month-old kid. I mean, kids show them the monkeys every day. And they like to take them in the morning. It's cool.
Oh, it's the best time to do it because it's
the
not so damn hot and the
park's
animals
empty.
are walking around.
Right. And so a lot of times they're getting fed in the morning, right? So they spend about 2 hours in the morning and they go home. So Melissa just sent a picture. They're at the zoo.
It's a great gift.
Yeah. Hey, we didn't do Clutch 5 Kid today. Are they paying? Okay. So we can get rid of that.
Well, we're going to turn it over. Hopefully it's going to be, we can, but I will say, since we've been doing it, I don't mind doing it. I don't think the segment's a bad segment
I don't either.
But this Bartles Buckets or whatever, this coffee company that's going to be sponsoring, he threw that in there to give them. And what he did is if they signed for because they wanted to start in September. And I will say, Marty and I talked about this. If they buy August, we'll give them the rest of July for free, was been the caveat. So I'm trying to get this guy to sign on the dotted line here, who I've never met, never talked to, and have done all of this over email.
There you go. I got to admit, I was listening to a little bit of MLB Network Radio at the beginning of the drive yesterday before I switched to music. And Chris Jimenez was saying, can I just give you some Rays info? And he started talking about from June 1st. And he said, listen, they're, March 30th to May 31st, unbelievable.
Right.
He goes, let me just give you some numbers from June 1st on. And they're like 20th in OPS. They're like 23rd in something else. Okay. He starts going, they're the worst OPS out of the cleanup spot in all of baseball for the year. Okay. He's like, everybody's talking about, they need arms and what have you. He goes, this offense is leaking oil. He said, Zarena's playing great, not hitting for power, not hitting, many long balls. And he just
their whole thing was they're getting home runs from everybody. I mean, their whole lineup was producing home runs.
Right. And he said that basically there's only 3 guys in the lineup producing power. He goes, and there's actually about half that lineup that for 6 weeks now is not produced. He goes, I'm not sure they don't need a bat. So, that was interesting.
That is interesting.
And then, he was talking about the Orioles and he's like, and the Reds. He goes, it's amazing that they're both where they are because he started giving starting pitching numbers. And the Orioles bullpen's tremendous.
The Red starting pitching is atrocious.
And their bullpen's not great either.
No.
But
their starting pitching is atrocious.
So. Anything you want to bring back here?
Not really. I mean, we can bring back anything. We could just recap too.
Okay.
Roy McIlroy said he'd retire before playing live golf.
Right.
Okay.
10 seconds.
It's the bonus hour of Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
"21 minutes past the hour. Good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap today was the day when, all coming up in a little less than 20 minutes time here on Miller and Moulton. So you got the Scottish Open going on. Play's already underway. Rory crushed it this morning. But you got, best players in the world that are not on the LIV circuit that are playing in this thing. I mean, this is a tune-up for next week's Open Championship. And so Scotty Scheffler's made 2 days worth of headlines. The first one was basically, listen, I don't have anything against the LIV guys. Never did. Now, there was Cam Smith, when he announced that he was going to LIV like a week later, Scheffler and he were playing in a group, and Scheffler walked all through his line on the green. And people thought it was intentional, and it was his way of, giving the middle finger basically to Cam Smith. And, others tried to say, golfers, they're so obsessed with their own thing, they lose their.
Scheffler doesn't seem like the type of guy that would be I'm going to walk in your line type of guy.
So otherwise, Scheffler's never said anything. He's been very John Rahm-esque. John has never said anything really derogatory about the LIV guys. He's like, no. And so Scheffler was like, hey, I never held it against them. They decided, that's where they wanted to go play, and they did it for the money. And, I don't begrudge them. And so if they come back, he goes, listen, there's not one golfer that I had a relationship with in which my relationship with them has changed by them playing in the LIV. He goes, the only thing is I've been bummed that I haven't seen them as much. He goes, but, otherwise, we're still, if I didn't have a relationship with them, I still don't. But if we were friendly, we're friendly. Okay, interesting. Because that obviously is not the case with Rory and a few others. But Scheffler was also asked about the impending alliance. And he's like, yeah, as a player on the tour, we still don't really have a lot of clarity as to what's going on, and that's worrisome. And they keep saying it's a player-run organization, and we're not involved in any of the discussions. He's not the only one to start saying stuff like this. And, when things are going smoothly, we're all willing to just go, yeah, I know we're supposedly in charge, but they're in charge and they're doing a good job. We'll just let them keep on keeping on. But the minute you think they're not doing a good job and they're technically in charge, that's when you go, hey, according to the charter here, it says we're supposed to be in charge.
4 key words I'm going to give you that I would give to Mr. Scheffler. North of $1 billion.
Okay.
North of $1 billion.
Right?
Dollars that the PIF is going to give the PGA Tour. Now, the PGA Tour may have gotten themselves into a little bit of financial troubles because of Live Golf and trying to keep up and the lawsuits and all of that. But north of $1 billion should be able to rectify any of the financial troubles that the PGA Tour has.
How about, though, if you're Scheffler, Rahm, and some others, in which you go, hey, don't get me wrong, that north of $1 billion, as you so eloquently put it, is still going to be there. But how about we take back some of the power in this thing? How about this is actually a player controlled and run tour like it's supposed to be? Hey, we're blaming ourselves. We let you guys just take this tour and run with it. And by the way, now that I think about it, maybe Phil and a few others were right. Maybe we should have been making a lot more money all these years. And you guys were actually holding it back from us. there was a lot more money out there. Apparently, these guys wanted to do this 4 years ago, and you guys just dismissed them out of hand. And Scheffler could be thinking, wow, those were 4 really good years for me. I mean, now that the tour is financially the way it is, Scottie Scheffler's averaged $1 million per tournament so far this year. This is not his best year on tour.
No.
Last year was better.
Last year was better. There's no question.
Right.
More putts were falling a year ago than they're falling right now.
Correct. I'm just saying. But Scheffler went on to say, I watched part of the hearing yesterday. I didn't learn anything.
Who did? Other than north of $1 billion.
We're at the cycle where it's just a framework agreement, and I don't know what that entails.
Welcome to the club.
So I'm just wondering, though, going forward, once again, there's a guy living near Jupiter who, if he decides there's a new sheriff in town and his name is Tiger Woods, things are going to change.
Yes, but do we really think, and I'm serious when I say this, Tiger's got, the pop stroke that he's dealing with. He's developing golf courses now. None of us really think he's going to play competitively more than a couple times a year, if that ever again.
Correct. That's certainly how you and I are thinking.
I don't think Tiger's interested in running the PGA Tour.
I don't think he's interested in running it, but I don't think he has to. I mean, Jack and Arnie were not interested in running the PGA Tour, but they blew up the way the PGA Tour was existing, and they completely reshaped it, and they put the people in charge who would run it the way they wanted it, and then they went back to playing golf.
But he's not even playing golf.
I understand, but he doesn't have to. I mean, if Tiger Woods decides, Jay, we're done with you.
Well, then Jay's done.
Okay, but he could also just say, and you know what? I've been talking to Jack, and we let you guys have too much power. And actually, if you read the bylaws, you guys are supposed to answer to us. You guys are going to start answering to us. This is how it's going to be done. And by the way, I can have the meeting with the Saudi guy. Rory says he's a nice guy. He's played golf with him. I'll go have lunch with him Tuesday. We'll work this out. I'll tell you what the agreement's going to be. How about that?
They better put the right, and I'm not saying that Monahan's the right guy, but the idea of that golfers all of a sudden know what's best for the PGA Tour. They know what's best for them.
Uh-huh.
Is that what's best for the game of golf, and would they screw it up even more?
But, I mean, they're admitting, they're being asked questions. Do you have confidence in Jay Monahan? And they're like, no, actually, no. He's got to earn my trust back. I mean, he's vulnerable right now. If you're going to stage a coup, now's the time to stage the coup. I mean, you got, JT and Spieth and Ricky, they're all at Wimbledon. Okay, they've all were interviewed, and they're all like, nah, not my favorite guy right now. Don't really believe a word he says. Okay, supposedly he's coming back Monday.
Right.
Coming back to work Monday.
By the way, we never heard anything of that he's.
Right, we don't know if it's serious or if it's bogus. There's no idea. And doubt we ever will. All right, listen, they're not divulging the details of the alliance. You think he's going to tell us his health crisis? And whether or not it was a crisis or a convenient way to
duck out for a month?
Yeah. Go to Cabo? I'm just throwing that out there, though. I mean, Scheffler is number 1, number 2, number 3 player in the world the last couple of years. So's John Rahm. So's Rory McIlroy.
We'll see. I just don't know how much better they're going to make it by taking it over.
Well, they only have to take it over for a board meeting. They only have to put the people in place that they want. I mean, Jack and Arnie put the people in place that basically would take their phone calls, do what we say. And then when they got enough trust in the Dean Beamans of the world, they let Dean run amok.
No, and this is basically, Kraft and Jarrah.
Yeah.
Finding their guy to run it.
Right. And Jarrah, remember, wanted to get rid of Goodell, and Kraft and a few others said, take it easy, big fella. And so Jarrah backed off.
Because we still have not heard a thing from Tiger Woods.
Nope. He released a statement, though, responding to a blog. Otherwise, nothing. Miller and Moulton.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6, and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone, on 5th Avenue in Naples.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
No idea. I know that coming out supposedly like in the next 2 weeks with whatever their new lineup is.
I mean, you got Greeny on 10 to noon, which Greeny doesn't do the show.
Right. Oh, and I'm expecting him to no longer be part of the lineup. If I was Greeny, I would be like, if you've blown up ESPN radio, why am I doing this? When they didn't put McAfee on noon to 3.
Right.
And we talked about it. We said ESPN radio's done. And then 2 weeks later, they got rid of the morning show.
So ESPN radio may just exist for live programming.
Basically, they're going to put the cheapest people that they can on, and they're going to do play-by-play.
Because I think what they found out too is that, where do they make money? Major markets. Well, major markets don't carry their programming. You know what I mean? Even if you're an ESPN affiliate in New York, you're not carrying.
They're really only carrying Greeny because Bart and Hahn used to be national from like noon to 2, 1 to 3. Well, now it's just an ESPN New York show. That's not what ESPN's been running nationally for the last year. And they just fired one of the two guys who does the
noon to 2 or noon to 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind that show.
Bart and Hahn or the replacement?
Either. I mean, it was on I've had 98.1 on the car most of the time. Now I listen to music. I'm not in the car that much.
Right.
But mostly I have it on to see if the promo. Yeah, John, that's true, but not to them, just to women.
Adam, what are you talking about? Okay, Greeny didn't want to do the show anymore. That's what sunk Mike and Mike. He went to manage. He changed. They used to have the same agent, and they made the same amount of money. Greeny, with like a year and a half left on their contract, changed agents and went to ESPN and said, I don't want to do this show anymore. I want a bigger profile. I want to do this. I want to do this. And management went, okay. And it hung Golick out there. And they went with Trey Wingo as a replacement. Trey didn't want to do the show. And he pretty much said so from day one. And you could tell.
I will say, Arch, we've had both of them on the show when we were doing afternoons. Greeny couldn't have been more gracious and nicer. Not so much for the other guy.
The other guy
that's our experience with him.
The other guy was total hit or miss. The one time we did the two of them on together, unbeknownst to both of them, and once Golick found out, he was tremendous. But when we had to deal with Golick individually, he was very difficult. And I'm being polite. And when we went up to both of them in person at events, Greeny was great and Golick couldn't be bothered.
Correct. Yes, very much.
Yes.
Very much. That's his shtick.
But it wasn't how he was in person or when we did interviews. No, she broke back. She's down a break.
I'm sure once Hard Knocks starts, Greeny will come back.
Oh, it's the time to take off anyhow.
It's true.
And he did work. I mean, he works a ton during the NBA finals in the play. I mean,
yeah.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
$22 minutes to the top of the hour, 16 until we're out of here. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Our poll question, best French fry. In most places, today is National French Fry Day. In some, it's been moved to Fry Day. There was a movement last year to move it to the second Friday of July. So that, of course, would be tomorrow. What are our four again?
McDonald's, the OG,
right,
getting 33% of the vote.
Okay.
Five Guys in the lead with 41% of the vote. The Arby's Curly Fry getting 18% of the vote.
Oh.
And someone else besides Felipe has voted for Popeye's Cajun, which has 7.7% of the vote.
Yeah, baby.
You know, there was, I mean, put it this way. Popeye's Cajun did not have the necessary votes to be in the poll question. That was a tip of the hat to Felipe that we put it on there. We would have gone with either Chick-fil-A's waffle or Checkers, right?
Checkers was getting a lot of love.
A lot of love from the Checkers.
I mean,
fry.
so much so that it almost makes me want to go to a Checkers and get a fry. I would have to find out where one of those are.
There's at least one locally.
If you say so.
You do know every time we mention this, our audience lets us know either by texting in or in the Twitch chat room. They let us know. Oh, there's one off Alico. Oh, there's one off 41.
Correct. But those are the choices. Go to that Mark Miller, the David Moulton, or FL Sports Network on Twitter. Should be on floridasportsnetwork.com as well to vote on today's poll question.
It's time for someone to take back this segment, if for no other reason than to stop David from talking about Meghan and Harry. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
Today in 1837, David, Queen Victoria is the first monarch to live in present Buckingham Palace.
Huh.
Those really only for you.
Thank you.
1923, the Hollywood sign is officially dedicated in the hills above Hollywood, Los Angeles. It originally read Hollywood Land, but the last 4 letters are dropped after a renovation in 1949.
So you're saying it's 100 years old?
It is.
Today?
Today.
Huh.
1960, at the Democrat convention, they named JFK as their candidate.
Was not easy. Was not easy. Barely fended off LBJ. Had to put him on the ticket.
1962, Arnold wins his second consecutive Open, this one at Royal Troon.
Oh, the way you said it, I thought you were talking Schwarzenegger there. So I'm glad you. It's Palmer. Right.
The next year, Bob Charles would win the Open Championship in a 36-hole playoff. A 36-hole playoff.
The first lefty to win a major.
Correct.
And that stood for 40 years until Weir won the Masters in 03.
1968 at Carnoustie, Gary Player fends off Jack and Bob Charles. It was the 5th of Player's 9 majors, 2nd of his 3 Opens.
Most underrated, greatest golfer of all time.
Today in 71 at Tiger Stadium, Reggie hit the light.
And Doc Ellis was high on LSD.
And Frank Robinson was the MVP as the AL beat the NL 6-4.
All right, if you want to have your goober moment of the day, look up the box score from the 71 All-Star game. It is, most people think it is the greatest collection of talent that's ever been on one diamond ever. If you look, because you've got the old guard, Aaron and Mays, okay, and then you had the new guard, and they cross over. It's staggering, the Hall of Famers that were in the 71 All-Star game.
74, Player would win his 3rd Open Championship. Today in 84, if you were going to see a Jackson's concert in Dallas, Texas, Michael performs Beat It, and this guy named Eddie Van Halen walks up on stage and plays his guitar solo to it.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Right? Now,
wow.
I don't know if the Jackson fan base would even get the charge out of Eddie Van Halen doing that, but it's pretty damn cool. 85, the greatest concert day in the history of the world.
Got that right.
Live Aid. At Wembley in London and JFK in Philly. Led Zeppelin played.
Well,
Queen got back together.
And didn't Phil Collins play
Played
in
both
America and London?
Yes.
Freddie Mercury and Queen or U2 that day? Okay.
Queen, at least for me, because I didn't realize the way they captivated a crowd. I knew their music, but I'd never seen them in concert. And I started going to concerts by this point in my life.
Yeah, you're like 15, 16, right?
When I'm watching Freddie Mercury in the crowd all clapping and all of those people at Wembley, I'd never, ever seen anything like that. And U2 had not yet reached that they would be, I mean, when they play Bad and he goes out in the crowd and it's incredible. But I'll give Queen the edge in that one.
By the way, for 1985, they raised $127 million.
Paul Prudhomme and Julius Caesar, both born today. Paul Prudhomme probably made many a Caesar salad before blackening some fish.
Can't believe you went there.
Harrison Ford's 81. Cheech Marin 77.
By the way, how about him at 80?
Right.
Doing the movie that he just did.
Saw a quote from him yesterday when they first approached him, the Indiana Jones, and he, read it and he said, "What the hell am I going to do with a whip?"
How much of that, how much of the stunts and everything did he do?
No, in the last one?
Yeah.
No idea.
That's what I would love to know.
But I've had 2 really good reviews of it.
I have too.
We took a walking tour in D.C. The guy had seen that before. I'd never met him. He raved about it. My brother-in-law thought it was fantastic. Michael Spinks is 67. Director Cameron Crowe is 66. Spud Webb is 60. Yadier Molina's 41, and Leon Bridges, the great R&B singer, is 34. And that's all I got. What did I miss, David?
Very first World Cup began today in 1930. Did you have that?
I did not.
I thought I was paying attention. I don't
You
think
were.
I missed anything. France defeated Mexico, and the U.S. defeated Belgium. There were 2 matches played at the exact same time. Uruguay played host to the first World Cup in 1930. It got underway today. Ghost opened in theaters today in 1990. I'm a big fan of her, was not a big fan of the movie. Okay? It's not my thing.
That movie ran on HBO in the summers at 10 o'clock seemingly every day for 2 years, David. We've all seen the movie. We didn't necessarily want to see the movie. We had no choice but to watch the movie.
Whoopi won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in that movie. Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, Whoopi Goldberg. That was a monster movie.
Cast at the time, too.
Yeah.
She's part of the what's the group of people that have all the awards again?
Oh, the EGOT.
The EGOT.
The Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. She's got a Grammy?
Yes.
Whoopi has a Grammy?
Wait a minute. She got a Tony?
I believe that she is part of that list of EGOT.
Wow. The Grammy would surprise me. So,
All right. Someone's got to do some work while I finish my work.
All right. I'll do it.
Get to work.
Okay. Will do, sir.
You've heard folks elsewhere mock Florida is gonna Florida. Well, Mark Miller sees it differently. He calls it the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
We go to Birmingham, Alabama for the good, where a company owned by Robert Stringer, he employs a ton of, in fact, mostly people that are getting second chances, recovering addicts. So, and I'm sorry, Robin Stringer works for Tim Cross, who started the company. Robin needed a day off. She had an upcoming court date that would decide if she would regain custody of her child. She asked the boss if he'd attend court as her character witness. Not only did he say yes, he shut down the entire company and had all 70-plus employees turn up in court as witnesses. Because the majority of his employees are recovering from alcohol or drugs. Turned out, she regained custody without even having to go to court. The company didn't need to shut down, and she received custody of her child back. But a pretty cool story. Pretty good job by the boss there. For the bad, we go to Santa Cruz, where an aggressive sea otter is harassing local surfers by jumping on boards, and she's stealing from them. There's a great break there. Steamer Lane, it's called. And a 5-year-old sea otter is growing a reputation for confronting surfers and kayakers. Finally, the ugly. We go to Texas, where you'll never believe this, David, but a neighborhood in Texas is no longer getting mail. And I know how much that would bother you.
Oh, please. I'd be protesting at City Hall every day.
It's all because of a dive-bombing hawk that is targeting local postal workers.
All right. I'd have to back off a little bit, because if the hawk was dive bombing me.
It's an Austin neighborhood that this hawk is dive bombing postal workers.
Oh, man.
They have to go to the South Congress post office for the time being so that the postal workers can stay safe from the dive bombing hawk.
I could see where the mailman or mailwoman would be like, hey, I didn't sign up for this. Okay? Come on now.
That is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, July the 13th, 2023.
18 winners of the EGOT. And Felipe was right. Whoopi is one of them. And she actually won the Grammy first in 86. And she won both the Emmy and a Tony in the same year in 2002. By the way, 18 are Richard Rodgers, Helen Hayes, Rita Moreno, John Gielgud, Audrey Hepburn, Marvin Hamlish, Jonathan Tunick, Mel Brooks. And what's interesting about some of them, there's a staggering separation in age, like Helen Hayes. All right. She won her Oscar in 1932. She completed being the EGOT by winning her Grammy 45 years later in 77. Mike Nichols, Whoopi Goldberg, Scott Rudin, Robert Lopez, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Tim Rice, John Legend, Alan Menken, Jennifer Hudson, and Viola Davis. There are 6 others who, it's kind of an EGOT with an asterisk, like Streisand. Won a Grammy, an Emmy, and an Oscar, all in the 60s. She was given a special Tony.
No.
I agree, in 1970. Liza Minnelli has a Tony, an Oscar, and an Emmy. Okay? She was given, like, the Legend Grammy Award. No, it doesn't count. James Earl Jones, a Tony, a Grammy, and an Emmy. He was given an honorary Oscar.
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's close, though.
That is close.
I mean, they bring you up on stage and everything. Most people count that one. For the record, most people count it. Harry Belafonte, a Tony, an Emmy, and a Grammy. Okay, was given the Humanitarian Award by the Oscars. Doesn't count. Quincy Jones, a Grammy, an Emmy, and a Tony was also given the Humanitarian Award from the Oscars. And Frank Marshall won a Tony, a Grammy, and an Emmy, and was given a Memorial Award by the Oscars. So 18 winners of the EGOT and 6 that are.
And Whoopi's got an EGOT.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Learned something today.
Yeah.
Felipe, I got to get to the text line before we sign off today because somebody from the 305 texted in and simply said, if you're not eating Popeye's fries, you're totally missing out. It's part of our poll question today on National Friday. Who has the best fries? 5 guys beating McDonald's right now, with Popeyes coming in last behind Arby's Curly. A lot of people really upset that we didn't put Checkers on the poll. I'm telling you. Been texting the whole show about that.
Our bad. All right. Felipe gets up at 4:30 every day. He's paid in rubles, for goodness sakes. All right. Sometimes we got to put what he wants in the poll question.
If that's the case, if you want him to get paid more than rubles, there are sponsorship opportunities available for the show. Contact us any way you'd like.
Look at you, right before we sign off.
You're damn right.
Okay. You might as well put a patch on your sleeve or something.
For the right price, I'll put a patch on my sleeve. Let's get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.